Hopefully we are doing it proper.
All right.
And maybe we're live.
All right, guys.
Who
If
knows?
we're live and you can hear us, please, for the love of God, say something. I'm
Visual,
giving
audio.
up on you.
Can you hear us?
Please say something. I need the confirmation.
Okay, we back. We got and sound. Astro. Thank you,
Yes.
Astro.
Don't worry. I'm going to go into some stuff before
Christian's
we do
Pronounceble's
anything.
here.
All
He
right.
asked about us doing a stream during New Rockstar's Break Room, so I was like, oh, yeah, get that cross-promotion, Christian.
Oh, awesome.
Respect and appreciation.
That's good to hear.
So I told the people today at noon.
Alrighty, cool guys. Well, welcome to part 2 of our live stream today. I don't know what happened there, and I just had to restart everything, and it seemed to get the job done.
Jump plug and plug it back in.
But thank you guys so much for being here. I'm just tweeting this stream out. Let's give some shout outs really quick to everyone who's in the stream so far that we can see right now. Coy, we got Jane Taylor, Nadim Seek, Icestock House, Ginger Geek, Quinn World, Zinc, John Wick
himself, man. Hide the pencils.
Audrey Sank, glad you love the Marvels. AJ,
Steve,
Rounce.
Gary from Brooklyn.
All
Richard
right.
Fearing, Tito.
All right.
Okay, cool. We got
Let's
names.
see here. Let's see here. The Panda. No, I mean, there's people who are already doing the post-credit scene breakdowns and stuff. Serena, Mayak. Alrighty, guys.
Yeah, we'll have spoilers because it's Saturday.
Well, let's swing into action because I'm sure there's going to be plenty to talk about. I did see that we got a couple of super chats already on the last stream, but don't worry, we will make sure to cover those. But before we go into any of that, I'm going to make sure there's video chapters this time around. I'm going to make the concerted effort to do video chapters. We will call this chapter some heads ups. All right, that's chapter 1. Let me write that down. Some heads ups. So if you're watching this on the playback, feel free to skip it before Coy takes over the stream because he's going to have a lot to say.
We both will.
First things first, please leave a like on this. That helps with the playback. When I say playback, that means after the stream is done, does this continue to be seen and recommended? And a lot of times live streams have a difficult time doing that. And that's why we welcome Super Chats and Streamlabs because the playbacks on these are rather rough. And how we normally interact with it. So some people think that we just ignore the chat, but we don't ignore the chat. We don't. What we normally do is we kind of let the super chats and such sort of guide the conversation, but then we're always seeing what the chat is saying here. And
Andrew Garfield apparently in Venom 3, according to the chat.
That's exciting to hear.
According to the chat, I'm the new Tyrone Magnus.
Would you hold up, Coy? I said
I needed. I was reading it,
said I needed to get through this chapter before you take over. What is the first thing on my document?
Before
Coy takes over.
It's in writing.
It says it right there.
It's right there.
All right. Gosh.
Greg's turn.
God, what was I saying?
About the live
What was I saying? This is why there's chapters that exist. Anyway,
super chats. How we're correct. It's difficult. Where's John?
So yeah, whatever. And then so lastly, what I'm going to say right now too is I know some people are going to be asking where's John. I did want John for this one. In fact, the plan was to actually have it be John and Coy this time around. So we'll call this chapter 2 will be called Where's John.
I like that.
So if John is watching some playback, hopefully he enjoys what I got to say here. So basically, on Thursday, the day of Loki, actually, I don't want to go into John's personal life about any specific details. He did experience a loss. I'll put it like that. And he was cool enough. I didn't realize this till right before the Loki finale, actually, or maybe like right after that he had this loss. But he still stuck around the entire night, gave his A game, and then he even helped out a lot because like the prepper team who helps us with videos, they're out of town for several days, and so he was helping me get ahead while I was editing the Loki video. So he powered through that, and then there was this commitment for the Wish press stuff junket that he couldn't get out of, so he had to commit to that, and this is on top of already having a very long Thursday while dealing with this loss. So I was like, you know what, he has a commitment he has to do later on today, so I was like, just you can take this Saturday morning and afternoon to yourself. So I just wanted to give John a little bit of a break right now after being a trooper while dealing with some real things right now. And I really did want him in this stream. And I'm only saying this just if John's watching this on playback, I'm only saying this to make me look good.
Yeah. This isn't actually about you.
This isn't about you. This is about me looking good by complimenting you. I hope.
Greg, the good person, subtext, where's John?
Yeah, exactly. Coy gets it.
I get it.
My wish is that you are in an alleyway right now, downing a bottle of malt liquor with a disheveled beard, homeless.
Yeah.
walking into a bar,
Sure.
seeing this clip out featured on Fox News,
Ooh.
and you're like, oh, they used to be my boss
Yeah.
and my best friend. What happened? And they don't know who you are.
It happened quick.
That's how you
In the last, hour.
The last hour.
That's
It's
really
crazy.
impressive.
She spirals, man.
He did already have the beard, luckily.
Yeah.
And like, frankly, you can get a bottle anywhere.
Yeah.
So hey, okay, it's possible.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, yeah, I just can't leave it on a nice sentiment.
No.
Alrighty, guys. Well, here we go, guys. Let's get into things. Wish John some positive vibes. Greg is a good person. That's funny. Thank you, Ray Stevenson. Yes, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Now we want to talk. Obviously, there's going to be spoilers here. Loki season 2 finale, the Marvels. Coy was not with John and I when we talked about the Marvel. Thank you, everyone's been sending super chats. Really appreciate that. We did not. Before we go into any of the specific topics in the chat right now.
Yeah.
Really quick, Coy. We'll call this chapter Coy's quick thoughts on the Marvels.
Quick thoughts.
What did you think about the Marvels? Remember?
Mm-hmm.
In the end,
Yep.
still positive majority, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
I mean, it's still a fun.
I'm saying placate, Coy. Don't be honest.
Right. No, can't be honest. No, I mean, I've said from the beginning, even with my not loving it as much as others have, that you should see it if you want to. Like, I don't think that my experience of it should affect yours in any way whatsoever. I've never really understood the idea of a critic, a pundit, a reviewer, or someone on the internet, a stranger you don't know, having any impact over your experience whatsoever. But I do like sharing opinions, which is why, we do this on the internet. But if you want to see it, you should see it, and I hope you did, and I hope you enjoyed it. My experience wasn't as positive as I would have liked. I really, really think this movie felt like it was ruined in post. I feel like the script and the edit felt like they were both made by committee, not made by art. It did feel like it was trying to serve many purposes, none of which felt like the emotional weight that the characters deserved or the actors deserved that the actors were delivering. I did feel like the Nia DaCosta directing, which is this really beautiful, sweeping, operatic camera style, was really undermined by the way it was edited. I do feel like we had some beautiful arcs that had potential in the writing before it was whatever happened. There were amazing moments where we could have had this, what happened between Monica and Carol in their time away, and how did they each feel about it and mourn. This great reveal about Carol that didn't really feel like it landed, and the ramifications of that with Monica. The forgiveness between one scene. The Iman Vellani being such a powerhouse in this film. I really, really, really think Iman Vellani is a movie star. Now she's in a movie as well as a TV show. It was beautiful to see her charm on a big scale. But I do feel like they didn't utilize the power that is Iman Vellani as well as they could have, because I didn't feel the relationship between her and Carol got its time to breathe, much less evolve into like her losing this golden visage of her hero and then getting it back. She did have moments where she doubted the power of this wonder of her hero, but then it didn't really get any time to flesh itself out as they repaired that relationship. And it felt like they implied at the end that, Monica would have been like a surrogate little sister had she stayed, and it felt like Miss Marvel was going to become that for Captain Marvel in the end. Kind of like, I didn't succeed in this relationship. I'd like to try to work at this one. I've learned my lesson. Didn't feel that at all. And I do feel like they rushed a lot of beats, like the entire arc with Monica, saying like, you can't do this, you're better than this, you should try to grow, create. I love the message of creation versus destruction. Go see Godzilla -1. I love the idea of power and what it is to use your power benevolently. And then they were just like, you can restart the sun. Can I? Maybe. I don't know. Flies and does it. Okay, peace, 30 seconds. It just felt rushed. It felt ham-fisted rushed, and it felt like Nia DaCosta deserved better, and certainly Carol Danvers, who found her way through this Brie Larson performance. I really enjoyed Brie's take here as Carol Danvers much more, but I didn't get to see a lot of it because they kept cutting other stuff. Like, it felt erratic. So Iman Vellani, I think, did absolutely everything she could. I think that Tiona Paris did everything she could, and I think Brie Larson improved Carol Danvers so much for me. But it's still, the movie itself felt like a series of different dishes. Someone took like a lot of recipes and they shuffled them, and then they set the oven to maybe, and we got some sort of meal.
Well, I will say that, yeah, I like everything that you're saying. I'm also reading the entire chat, and it is interesting because I'm seeing the divisiveness already occurring within the chat. So I'm going to ask you guys right now, put down in the chat. I've been reading everyone's comments while Coy was talking. Put down in the chat what your rating was of the Marvels, and then of course What is your rating of the Marvels? And then also, Loki season 2. If you guys didn't catch our reaction for it, we absolutely loved it.
Yep. We'll talk about that next. I'm sure. I'm sure we're going to start with the Marvels. And someone's saying, how long did I want the movie to take? As long as it needed to. A story should go on as long as it should. Not
7 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 6.5, 6, 6, 7. Oh, look, that's a woman
5,
there.
4.5.
4.5, 6.5, 6.5. A lot of
5.5,
mainly
5.5,
mainly in the 6s to 7s, a couple 4s, 5s.
2,
but it
5.
looks like it's mainly between the 5 to 6 range right here. Solid 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10. Okay, so yeah, most of it seems like it's like looking at this. I don't feel like I'm incorrect on assessing this. It seems to primarily be hovering in the 6 range.
I see more 6s, or I see 4s and 7s, so I would say the average there. There's the occasional 10-9. Obviously, we see those, but
of course.
on average.
Yeah. I'll admit on our review, let's call Greg expanding on his Marvels review.
Chapter 4.
Yeah, because I know we really want to talk about Loki season 2 as well. It's going to be an interesting stream because we're going to be hopping around here. One thing that as I was actually putting the video together for our Marvels talk, John was actually over my shoulder, and I was like, "Thank God you're here, John, because this is the most incomprehensible I have ever sounded." Like the entire time I was listening to myself talk, I just kept thinking of that Michael Scott meme when Toby shows up and he's just going, "No, no, no," and I realized it was a unique viewing experience for me because I have gotten so used to filming movie reactions here that when I am having a criticism or I'm upset with something, normally I can just vocalize it in the moment. And it was also sort of piling up that by the time I got out of the screening and most people were surrounded by really liked the movie, that I didn't want to argue with anyone. I never want to be that guy who's like, "Oh, you liked it? Let me tell you why I don't like." I hate those people.
Yeah.
I don't hate those people. I hate when people do that.
A bunch of people said they weren't going to watch her live because we didn't like it, and I said good. Exactly that.
Yeah. So I get it, and I could understand if people didn't watch it because I was just leading with my emotions, and I wasn't really coming intellectually at all. And I'll gladly admit that. Because I mean I've expressed what I didn't really like about it. I do think the writing was poorly done, but one thing I didn't really siphon that out because I was like, these movies are, when we say heavily produced or heavily edited, that is usually when you are associating that you could feel studio mandate of trim. So I can't really comment so much on the writing and go, this is the writer's fault, and this is not some like, I'm here to defend the writers after everything they've been through. It's just like from knowing how things go down, you're like, this feels more like whatever if there is a good script or whatever the original script was, this probably wasn't the case. You could feel the chop, 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 chop. That's why I focus more on how the movie was edited, how it skipped around and the pacing and whatnot were the things that upset me. And when I say Iman Vellani was great, I've always loved Iman Vellani. And I've always said that she's one of the best cast actors, and I think the 3 actresses, their chemistry is great in the film. Just a lot of it, like the singing scene, I thought was really everything about it. Overall, if I were to condense, I'm like, there is a version of this movie that would have worked.
I loved what it was planting. It just didn't flourish. The flower didn't grow.
Like Everything Everywhere All at Once is a great example of a movie that is bombastic, a crazy cacophony of events, moves at a whiplash pace, is so strange and so surreal. And they do like some of the most wacky shit, but then they could also hit you with such dramatic heft. And I'm not saying this movie even needs to touch the caliber of filmmaking. I'm saying that
it's possible.
When you have wacky stuff like Flurkin swallowing people,
you need to have emotional weight.
Or musical numbers. It's the flow. It's the way the film is executed overall where that stuff felt empty to me. And I will say, like, there were parts that I definitely laughed at during the movie, like where it felt intentional. Like, this is
good
funny.
Laugh.
This is actually funny, But the other thing I'll clarify, I've seen this coming up in the chat quite a bit right now, is the post-credit scene of what upset me about it. Now, this is more of like a technicality thing that I know a lot of people will not agree with me on.
No one has agreed with me yet.
Yeah, that's fine.
I've talked to so many people.
Yeah, dude. What really, really bothers me about the post-credit scene, this is going to sound like a nitpick. Hear me out of why it bothers me. And if you don't agree, totally okay. Some people think I'm mad if you don't agree with me. I last live stream heavily encouraged. It's okay to disagree. I encourage conversation. I really, really encourage it. I want everyone to just be honest with each other. Bottom line. And what bothers me about the post-credit scene, and you've probably heard some people mention it, is the fact that they did CGI Beast. Why this bothers me so much is MCU has more money and time than any of the X-Men movies. Mm-hmm. And we've seen several X-Men movies with Nicholas Hoult, a couple with appearances from Kelsey Grammer as Beast, where they used practical effects, which helps it feel more real. And the CGI around it was the second he showed up, I think you heard me say out loud, like, they CGI'd Beast.
Yeah, we both kind of like there was a moment of excitement. It was half a second because as soon as you realize the Uncanny Valley, it drops. Because my very first instinct was, oh, it's more comic accurate. But then as soon as he moved at all, like, it was 1 second of happiness.
Yes.
Because he did look more comic accurate. But then as soon as he moved, it felt like there was, again, like the emotional weight. There was no physical weight to Beast. And I was like, oh, this is way too important of a character and way too important of an introduction. And I joked on New Rockstars the other day that it was the animated, like, X-Men 97 Beast. That's what we brought in. Like, we literally have
I think that was the intention.
Representation.
I understand that the CGI is to try to match an aesthetic, but at the end of the day, however, I would say at the end of the day, it doesn't look believable. It doesn't look
has to.
real. And it didn't excite me for the return of Beast because it was liken it to how when people felt when they first saw Yoda in The Phantom Menace. There's a reason.
That's a great example.
There's a reason why when the trilogy, I mean, granted, the Disney trilogy is not exactly the greatest thing to defend here. One thing that a lot of people were happy about, though, was they brought Yoda back as a practical because that's what helps it feel tangible and real. And I think MCU, if they want like the tangibility of the emotional weight, you need to be able to do that.
Why wouldn't you want an emotional reaction to a post-credit scene? Like, why do you want not quality? Like, why are you defending a lack of something in the chat? It's really, y'all are weird. I just don't understand why you'd be upset with something working. Like, why would not you strive for the best? Like, why not want the weight of, we've had the X-Men. Yeah. We've already succeeded at it. Why accept a diminishing return? That's just a weird thing to defend. I didn't even see the person's name, but they're dumb.
Hey, these are actual subscribers, Coy.
Well, they're being
be kind
dick
to them.
To me.
Be
so
kind.
if they're going to insult me, I'm going to insult. I literally gave my opinion and was very kind and patient with you all. And I see a few people defending me, but like, I'm not insulting you, and you're not insulting my opinion. You're insulting me. So fuck you.
Just that one person, not everyone.
No, it was a few. But moving on. Sorry.
God damn, Coy. I'm trying to keep things civil.
Sitting here on a Saturday, I don't need to be here with these fucks, and I'm wanting attention. I changes my opinion to fit in. I don't know how you think having a nuanced take on a movie is changing my opinion to fit others when I'm one of the people in the exception to have.
Really quick, Nadim's check. Practical effects. Werewolf by Night did it.
Yeah, and it looks great in color and in black and white.
Beast, Kelsey Grammer shows up in Days of Future Past for approximately the same amount of screen time that he's in the Marvel's post-credit scene. Practical effects.
Yeah.
And to me, really, it bothers me that they won't embrace it. So yeah, that's a real thing. But anyway, the other thing that I wanted to do, I'll call this chapter, You Guys Forget Stuff. I got this message. We will get to all the super chats and everything right now. We're reading, obviously we're reading this.
Is 4 going to be Greg expands, or is You Guys Forget Stuff? Is this 5?
No, this is 4. I'm
just wondering, did you want to do 4?
This
I got
is
you. I'm
5.
keeping track
Thank
of
you, brother.
There we go.
So here we go.
So add 4 so you don't forget it. Chapter 4 was Greg expands.
Yes.
There we go. I got you. Accountability. I'm paying attention.
All right. Let's go here. Okay. So one thing that I will, I'm totally okay with people disagreeing with us on anything, right? Mm-hmm. I could handle whatever hate you guys are throwing our way. The thing that I feel I do not want us to be lumped in with because we weren't fans of the movie The Marvels is the crowd that is obviously feeds into whenever there's a woman on screen, they scream woke and they scream virtue signaling and they scream Disney pandering and whatever. because I refuse to be lumped into that category.
Yep.
I know right away people will lump us into it. Just yesterday, one of our, I won't say who, one of our patrons sent a very lengthy message to us about how they felt like after them loving the Marvels, they feel like John and I are people who are suddenly like part of that crowd who can't understand superhero females, and
Which I don't understand.
and yada yada yada. And I expected people just to immediately have that black and white thinking. We're dealing with the internet. Yeah, obviously, I get it. And that's one of the things. And also the other thing is writing an MCU hate train, because I'm like, so many things are being forgotten about. I love Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and a lot of
Nobody
people
talks
did
about
it.
at
Yeah,
all.
a lot of people talk about it. I really loved Shuri in the Black Panther role. I love Shuri in that film. We are two people here on camera who often get a lot of crap for liking a television series called She-Hulk.
Yep,
we
often,
really
daily.
like it. We loved Miss Marvel.
Yeah. Wonder
Wanda-
Woman is my top 20, I think, comic films, period.
Ball every time I watch it.
Yep.
Birds of Prey is another movie got a lot of crap for in conversation for really, really liking a lot, and I'll probably get it right now for it.
Like it more than most Snyder stuff.
Lady director, all female cast, really loved it, and I like the fact that I'm going to keep the clarification on this really short. I just don't want us to be lumped in that specific category.
I just love that we have to list
Yeah.
women.
I know that's
Here we are,
That's a silly
having
part.
to prove
Yeah,
that women are good.
That's just because I even said it in our talk. Like I had no issues with the actresses in this movie. Yeah,
I don't also, I just quickly saw someone say, quite act sexist. I don't know how, with the amount of defense of this movie building up that I did, I could possibly,
Yeah.
I only have so many fuck yous.
yeah. That's basically it. So that's what I wanted to get into and clarify. Coy.
I'm
It's
doing
okay.
it calmly.
You are
I'm
a
staying calm.
passionate human being, and I love it. So you know what? No, you lead on as much as you want.
I'm
Maybe-
just like,
should
yeah.
we play relaxing?
We have enough. Like, I like that we have subscribers on this channel. We have enough that I
Yes.
can lose some. Fuck you.
you goose.
But yeah, I think it's an interesting problem when you can't have criticism and not be able to even establish the nuanced take on it before
Yeah.
you're lumped into something, because that's the difference, and that's what I think there's a lack of media literacy around. Is there's a lot of people that don't have media literacy that are just mad because there is woman or someone with opinion or this and that, and then we get put into that because we're explaining the nuanced reasons involving editing and writing and wanting better for these characters that are women and these actresses that are women. And I don't understand
Yeah,
the lack of comprehension between the difference between a yelling, woke, making dumb faces in your thumbnail over the faces of actresses, or like using silly memes antagonistically, versus us going, wow, this was disappointing because we had such high expectations, and we as viewers, as well as the people that made this movie, deserve better. Like, there is a completely different fundamental judgment, and there's a
Jessica
completely
Jones, man.
different fundamental assessment from our point. And I don't think that if you can't understand the difference in that, you deserve to have our commentary or deserve to enjoy this art if you can't comprehend any. It's not even nuance. It's black and white thinking. If you can't comprehend good, bad,
Yeah.
right, wrong, judgments, then you don't deserve art.
Yeah. And the only thing that we can do, you got to understand a lot of thing too, is that some people think a lot. I've got this message. The thing is, it's weird when like, okay, this has showed up in my DMs. It's one thing if it's just comments on YouTube, whatever. And one of the comments that before I made the video public for the Marvels video, the comment that I put up was specifically, I think it was specifically this, was, have you decided whether you like this movie or not before you watched it?
Mm-hmm.
Because that is specifically going after people who make up their mind about it. Meaning, I don't want you to just take my word for it. And I'm not
Right.
trying to tell you not to watch this movie. You should form your own opinion, because that's what we encourage.
Throughout
And so,
both
yeah.
of our reviews.
Yeah, that's what we always want. That's what we always want. And I will champion this side of the conversation. A lot of people will say, just ignore hate, ignore whatever. This is something that I actively would like to push back against, though, personally.
Same. That's why
yeah.
we're doing this
Yeah,
stream, I feel like,
exactly.
because it's really frustrating. It makes the job really hard, because if you like everything, which people claim I do up until this point where I became fill in your alt-right asshole here,
Yeah.
then you don't have the ability to say, something is, if everything's a 5, nothing's a 5. If everything's a 10, nothing's a 10.
I'm just
But
a mean drunk.
that's true. But if you start being critical, then all of a sudden there's this animosity because they're so used to you liking things. So it's really, if you don't want opinions of people, don't listen to them. Like, I don't understand the goal here.
One thing I also want to say too is it's awesome seeing how many people are in this chat. Like, this is on slow mode, and the chat is just blowing up, and I love it. I love seeing it. I love seeing it, guys, and I'm glad to everyone who had a good time with it. Like I said, I could see a version where people had a lot of fun with the Marvels. And yeah, I'm sure we will go into a little bit more positive stuff. I thought Loki would be the predominant conversation.
Yeah.
Because we got to go into that.
We do.
But I've been loving the comments. I want to catch up on some of the super chats, but don't worry. I'm going to keep this chat going, and we will be keeping interactive. We know Coy's going to not ignore what's going on in this chat.
As much as his mental health demands, he should.
Know it.
All
Coy,
right.
you just deal with it.
Just handle it. I was in such a good mood before sitting down in front of the internet. This was such a decision on
Such
Saturday.
a terrible idea.
I woke up so happy. I had such a good 36 hours, and then I was
what
like,
did you expect,
how
man?
can
We're talking about the Marvels. We had a specific.
If we hadn't had this plan for 2 weeks, there's no reality where the 3 hours we're about to endure is going to be worth losing my
Coy,
peace.
my God, realize something, Coy. If we loved the Marvels, we would be getting the exact opposite thing in the chat.
True. The other people would be in here.
We don't need to be upset. Like, we would be getting the exact opposite thing in the chat right now.
I can only be so disappointed in humanity, Greg. If there's only so low I can think of people.
If we loved it, people would say you're woke, you're Disney shills, and blah blah blah. And if you don't like it, you're all these other things, and we don't know how to have fun or some bullshit, right?
Greg being the optimist is really, this is a twist, guys. This is
I have dealt with so much crap in the past few days.
I know that's what I'm saying. It's
this
so
is
impressive.
nothing to me
it's
right
very
now, man.
impressive.
This is absolutely nothing.
That's the twist I didn't expect from our Saturday.
Yeah, man. It's fine. Like,
I also realized the main person that's been bothering me is someone named Bullets Nation. I realize I shouldn't care about someone's opinion that is literally named after a thing to kill people.
We're A-OK right now. Wow, we got a good amount of super chats, and oh my God, we could talk about Loki.
Yes.
But guys, leave down the positive stuff for the Marvels too. Like, admittedly, my mind would not go to the positive stuff, and I'd like to go to the positive stuff. So leave down some of those positive things, because encourage the conversation in that way. Doesn't need, like, we'll just see how the conversation goes, basically. Coy, how you feeling, buddy? This is fun.
Yeah.
I love seeing vexed Coy.
It's not a common thing. The only time I'm quiet is when I'm like past mad. It's
Dude.
like when I'm mad, I just yell, but when I'm like livid, I'm like, I love people, because I think we fundamentally, like, sharing art is so important to, like, the emotional expression of humanity. Like, I think art is about, like, you have a trauma in your life because that's existing, and then you make something out of it so other people can feel seen. And I think art is so beautiful and wonderful. So the reason these Marvel movies are so special is because it's able to get so many people to understand someone's pain, someone's art, someone's experience. So the fact that we've taken this beautiful thing that is cinema, this beautiful thing that is these moving pictures of sight and sound that thousands of people work on, and we can't look at them and expect them to be better, and we can't give any sort of, like, nuanced appreciation, positive or negative, about them, because the internet has become such a consistent cesspool that it causes people that want to actually study them for better or worse to hate the very people they're trying to have conversations with. Like, it's just disgusting that we made the internet to hate instead of to love. Like, this is an incredible connecting tool, and it's just such a waste.
A lot of the times, big problems happen in interactions due to a lack of communication or miscommunication. And oftentimes in relationships, that's what you'll find is like, a lot of this comes down to, it's just kind of a miscommunication at the end of the day. And what saddens me about like internet interaction is a lot of people who interact on the internet actually logically know this, and yet still participate this way in such a black and white way of discussing things, and a lot of vitriol and bile. And a lot of people know this prior being around on this planet before the internet came into existence.
Right.
And what worries me about the future is there are children who are
that never
growing
had
up
that
in it,
experience.
who are going to learn this is the way to communicate with people. That's what concerns me.
We're already seeing it more. Look at like
Yeah,
movie theater
totally.
etiquette. Like people, the way people don't know how to be in
Yeah.
public.
Oh, those people can go fuck
Oh,
themselves. Right,
die in a hole. Yeah, no, it's bad.
All
But
right.
that's gonna be that's the micro. It's gonna be the macro soon.
Let's talk into this. All right, our first super chat is about Superman. What do you know? Thank
We'll
you
get
so
to
much.
Loki
We'll get
eventually.
to Loki, but from Ka Cinema, thanks for kicking off the super chats today, buddy. He says the end reminds me of all Superman when Clark flies into the sun to. Oh, he's talking about Loki season 2.
Oh,
okay,
here we are.
Here we are.
Loki.
The end reminds me of Superman when Clark flies into the sun to fix the damage done to it. He'll be back. He just has work to do first. This is an interesting conversation because at the end of Loki season 2, now Coy, do you want to clarify that? Because you were under the and I believe the impression you were under because I was like, Coy must be right. Was that you believe that Coy was not the Coy?
I was.
That the Coy was at the beginning of time.
Oh, I still do, and I know some
because
people disagree.
everyone is saying, like literally every other video is saying that he took over He Who Remains and is at the end of he has replaced him.
See, I don't see that. I
Okay.
still personally, and I think it's meant to be interpretive. Like he didn't like kick him out and sit in his chair. I interpreted it as there has to be balance, there has to be creation, and there has to be destruction. You don't see him ending any timelines. You don't see him ending any new branches. Like he's only growing them. He's only so I personally, and you know, the video that I posted about my theory, Justin and Aaron liked, so I feel like that helps
really?
give some credence to it. But they could also just have liked what I had to say because art should be interpretive. But to me, he's creating and he's witnessing and he's growing timelines, whereas at the end of time, I don't think that'd be where you'd be nurturing
Sure.
and growing. Also, there doesn't seem to be any benevolence or malevolence. It seems very like reserved, like he just has to monitor. It seems very like not controlling, just tending. You know what I mean? So that to me doesn't register as the Kang role. I don't see that being the way it would go. But I also think that depending on how the story of Kang goes forward with everything, that might change. Like I think the reason the ending is so beautifully interpretive is because now we've got a chance to not bring Kang back or bring one of the Kangs back, depending on how things go in real life.
Okay, so what do we call this
Personally.
chapter then?
Loki season 2 discussion, just broad discussion.
Oh no, Coy, that's boring.
Loki season 2, what does it mean?
Beginning of time. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
Not end of time.
Because like I don't think
Guys, what should I call this chapter of what Coy just said?
tell us because I
don't know.
honestly I don't think it works to have him just replace Kang because that doesn't allow for Kang to have a purpose, and we didn't see Kang not.
But it seemed like he went to the chair that He Who Remains sat upon and is now thrashed, and then he rebuilt it in the golden chair, the throne.
Oh, see, I never interpreted that. I interpreted that space as just like a metaphysical space about time, not the Citadel itself. Like I
interesting.
personally interpreted.
Oh, and
as,
Justin and Aaron liked your post?
yeah. But they could just like that what I had to say. Like that's the beauty
Okay.
of comics. Like I'm not claiming that them liking my post
There are
is
some people who agree with you, man.
but like that's just how I interpreted it because I don't think we would have had that abstract of a visual if it was going to be such a linear idea. Like the linear idea is new guy that monitors time is Loki, and it wasn't a linear presentation. It was a very beautifully abstract Norse representation of like the tree of life, which would have nothing to do with Kang. Like I don't think they would have gone through all of that beauty and wonder if it was just like you're out of a job, Kang. Like he literally built like he was creation itself. So I don't think he would have built shit if he just sat in a chair that was already there. That doesn't make any sense.
Regardless,
personally.
beautiful ending.
Oh my god.
And yeah, I here, Deadshot is right here. Thank you, Deadshot, for your super chat, my friend. And I'm seeing people in the chat that are really there's a lot of people. Obviously, some people have a different interpretation, but there's actually quite a few who agree with you.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
think,
good to
and
see.
that's the beauty of like when you make art. It's like I didn't used to understand modern art. Like when I looked at modern art, I was like, okay, a 7-year-old could do that. But as I've gotten old and cranky, apparently, it's really interesting to look at art that makes you feel anything if it's just abstract color because
The old Citadel was still falling apart.
right.
Right.
But when you look at abstract art, it's interesting what does call to you and what doesn't, and that's why I really like this finale, because it wasn't linear Marvel. It was really an abstract art piece.
Sure.
And the rest of the season, whether they were doing those voyeuristic shots you and I talked about, whether they were doing those incredible POV monologue Shakespearean shots where it was almost like the characters were talking to you, whether or not they were using the blend of comic medium and TV medium to have those wide sweeping shots where his clothing came out, to me, this felt like the best use of television for a comic, because it blended mediums like abstract art, like Shakespearean plays, but did it all in a way that could only be done in long-form television. Like, this was a 6-hour story.
Well, that's a great question. Maybe you should get Justin and Aaron on, and then maybe
we're already talking about it now that the strike's over.
Yeah, oh, shit.
Maybe.
Let's read Deadshot's comment. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. Loki ending was so good. In the beginning, Loki was a throne and rule. Now he has a throne, but not because he wants to, but he needs to save the one he loves, burdened by glorious purpose. Absolutely. That's what I think the arc is so great about it. You know, one thing I wanted to, I mean, we talked about that quite extensively in our review following the reaction for it, is that what I wanted to also expand upon, actually, I want to take this opportunity to say this, based off what you just said, Deadshot. I'm just saying it like this so that way I can justify why I'm saying it, to tie it into your super chat. Is that one of my things that I was sometimes riffing on throughout the reaction for season 2 was I'm kind of missing some of Loki's personality, a little bit of that mischievous personality. And then I was like, but maybe I'm kind of waiting to see how this sort of ends. And what I thought, I was actually at the gym thinking about this. I know it's throwing again that it worked out.
That's a show I ran into Justin. I was at the gym talking to Justin about Loki because we both work out.
Was that what was so cool about the start of season 2 is that he's such a TVA member, and here he becomes this benevolent watcher over time, because he had to become a ruler that was not like He Who Remains, that was not a dictator, but one that serves for the people, one that makes a sacrifice for the people. And he really gets to understand human connection throughout the season, so much so that he practically is human for like the first half of season 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's kind of just a TVA member.
And once you see the end, you realize that he was like placating time. Like,
yes.
there's kind of this a moment of like, he's lived this so many times, he is going through the motions.
I think it's a really beautiful arc, and it's cool that you have you have 2 Loki arcs. You have the Loki arc within the MCU movies.
Yeah.
And you have this completely separate Loki who has
just what the multiverse could have been.
And that is so it's one of the greatest testaments to what the MCU is capable of doing.
Truly.
You know, I thought it was absolutely thrilling.
It's up there with the No Way Home presentation of the 3 different personalities of Spider-Man, as like 2 of them being the Uncle Ben to the third, where you're like, this is what a multiverse can be.
Yeah.
And I honestly think the speech about burden with glorious purpose and the purpose of burden and the burden of purpose was so genius, because not only does it play with that iconic dialogue, but it also really linearly gives you an abstract concept, and it also gives you an abstract concept really linear. Like, the idea of it itself is an Ouroboros. Like, you can ponder the purpose of burden and the burden of purpose for millennia. Like, it's such a cool idea that he earned the throne by having to understand that it was weight, not power.
Yeah.
And that is so, like, even the way the horns shape, they feel so heavy, and the clothing feels so uncomfortable. It's so beautiful.
That's so true, Coy. So true. We'll loosen up throughout the stream.
Promise.
Alrighty. So Marco Santos, thank you for the super chat. I know it looks like Loki became God of Stories, but it looks like he became Loki, Prime Loki. Coy probably knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think there is going to be a prime timeline.
What is Prime Loki?
So there's like a prime timeline character.
Primetime Loki.
Primetime Loki. But I think they're going to introduce primes in Deadpool, because I think that's going to be the whole Fox, kills the Fox universe. I think we're going to try to like make things linear leading up to Secret Wars. So I think the prime concept is going to be, it's kind of like the inverse of a canon event. So in the Across the Spider-Verse, the canon event is something they all share.
Sure.
In the idea of prime, there is one main character of characters. The rest all extrapolate out from him.
Okay,
so it's kind of like that inverse. So I think we're going to meet probably as soon as
So-
Deadpool, like there's going to be a Prime Wolverine, and I'm wondering if that was actually Logan, and because they're going to acknowledge Logan dying, so I'm wondering if Deadpool's going to be looking for Prime Wolverine and finds out he's dead, or if they're going to make. I hope they don't kind of undermine Logan, but if they're going to make another Wolverine Prime that he's got to find, and Hugh Jackman's going to be that. So I think we're going to be going through a lot of Wolverines plural in Deadpool 3, and they're going to explain the Prime concept there.
Okay, sweet. Oh my God, we gotta like include something on this chapter. Chapter 7.
Prime time.
Prime Loki. Deadpool 3 connections. Keywords.
Guys, they're coming in. SEO.
Yeah, Lorenzo Baxter. Yeah, we will talk about that conversation. I just saw your chat on your comment come in. No, there's so much to deconstruct here.
I can't wait to rewatch 1 and 2 together because I didn't rewatch season 1 like you did right before season 2. And my girlfriend's never seen any Loki, so I want to sit and watch it as like
Agree.
the movie it's meant to be in the dark. Because watching it on camera with lights is not nearly the same like immersiveness as like tucking in.
I'm sorry.
It was fun. I'm just acknowledging it's going to be different round 2.
Dan B900, thank you for being back here. You're always in our streams. Really appreciate it. Kamala really sent it. Okay, we're back to Miss Marvel. The Marvels. Kamala really sentenced Aladna to death with the jump, and the only reaction to it was Carol saying not to be like her. Could have had a real convo with Kamala learning about hard decisions, but nope. That's what I'm sort of mean by that. Like, I thought that moment was going to be kind of the turning point for me in the Marvels film where, okay, we're going to get some time to really do something that will have a little bit more substance to it instead of, let's get back to fun.
Yeah.
Was that the moment he's talking about is when like Captain Marvel gets really stern with Kamala,
Yeah.
and then you see that's reaction she has, like almost, oh my God, wait, who are you? What is this decision you're making? And I thought there was such an interesting conversation to be had with like kind of over idolizing your heroes, and
Mentorship over idolizing
Yeah.
the Last Jedi conversation.
and becoming more human. I don't know what I'm not saying like here's what they should have done. I'm saying
Sure.
they clearly opened the door for something that with filmmaker and also not forget top credited writer Nia DaCosta. If you look at some of her previous works, something that gets as deep as like her remake of Candyman, for example, I'm sure had some of the shit on her mind.
Yeah, because
You
that
know?
scene felt like they were gonna go
Yeah.
like that direction, and then the next scene was like, "I'm sorry, I did that," and I was like,
Yes.
"Why did you just?"
But yeah, that was something there. But again, like Kamala Khan, Iman Vellani, I just-
Incredible.
absolutely incredible, absolutely incredible. Like that was what I met her in person. Have you met her before? When I met her, I got to tell her that, and I was like, "This like I met it similar like I don't know. It was like when I met Dane Cook, and I was like, I've seen every one of your specials. Like, just to be able to like say that, even though they're not going to remember.
Yeah.
And even though Iman Vellani had recognized us, and I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was very surreal.
I got to like tell her like an actual truth, which is I have said so many times that you are one of the best, like arguably the best, like most apt casting of MCU ever. So I was like to be able to tell her that was great.
She is truly one of us. It's amazing.
But don't forget, we're sexist because we didn't.
Oh, right.
All right. Mayank
Iman Vellani's a woman, and I like her.
Mayank Radnavari. I think I nailed that. Thank you so much, my friend. Hi, Greg and Coy. Love the Loki Season 2 finale. My theory, the Kang War is destroying the multiverse. We should talk more to the camera. Don't forget. So
There's people in there.
the Kang War is destroying the multiverse, so to save what's left, Loki combines remaining branches in the battle world leading to Secret Wars. I thought about this too at the when I was freaking out, was because they keep talking about Ouroboros.
Yeah.
And how crazy of an Ouroboros would it be? And I think there's something like this that kind of happens in the comics, sort of, is how Loki was the first villain in Avengers.
Yeah.
So what if for Secret Wars, to make it an ultimate Ouroboros effect,
He's the big.
he's the one who has to assemble Avengers in order to defeat the big threat? How crazy would that be? Like, oh, our first villain is now becoming the assembler.
That is literally the only way I want Tom Hiddleston back. I don't want him to pop up in a lot of stuff. I don't want it to be like, oh, it's a variant. It's not the prime. I don't want them to waste the impact of the finale by having. And he went on the Tonight Show last night and basically said, like, it's not just the conclusion of 2 seasons of television. It's the conclusion of 14 years of my life. And it was this really powerful moment for him. And I don't know if I want to waste that. Like, I know how important these stories are to everyone, and I know how important these stories are to me. But the human that is Tom Hiddleston, I want him to rest.
Yeah.
I want him to be able to do other stuff.
All right. Someone just brought it up in the chat. I want to make sure. All right. Remind me on the next Miss Marvel question, because I want to make sure we're staying on track, because I got an appointment at 3:30 I got to get to. Mascar Riz brought up Haley Steinfeld in there. So remind me on the next Miss Marvel question we get to talk about the
incredible
Young Avengers
mid-credit scene.
Young Avengers scene, yeah. Here it is. Perfect. Thank you, Christian Unpronounceable.
Christian
That's what I'm talking
Unpronounceable.
about. That's what I'm talking about.
Literally the next
All
one.
right. Christian Unpronounceable. Thank you so much. I'm so happy I actually called Kate Bishop showing up. To me, you know what? I liked that scene more than the mid-credit scene.
Oh, by a lot.
It felt very accurate to both tonality of what I mean, A, from the movie, B, what from the Miss Marvel show, for her to like do spoof of Nick Fury, excellent.
So funny.
And then even tonally with what we saw with Kate Bishop in the Hawkeye series.
Yep.
I thought that was excellent. The one thing I was craving from that moment, it's not something that makes it bad to me. The one thing I was craving was just a shot of both of them in frame.
I wonder if they were. I don't know.
That's the main question.
Yeah.
Because seeing those two, that's another fucking character who we absolutely loved.
Oh my
like
god,
Kate
Haley
Bishop,
Steinfeld's incredible. We don't even like the show that much, but she
was
everything about her in that
phenomenal.
show.
Oh my god, she was phenomenal. And especially if you read the comic that's mainly inspired by, you're like, wow, perfect casting.
I think that's why I get so angry, is because I feel like I'm doing that, like I have a black friend thing to women.
Yeah,
I feel like I have to be like, you know what?
Awkward feeling. Yeah.
I love women. Let me list some.
I really loved that scene a lot, and I did love that. I did not give that scene credit in the non-spoiler review.
That scene is so good. The writing, the delivery.
I did like that a lot.
Even the lighting, it was so. And of course, Miss Marvel will be the one to spoof Nick Fury. Like, I love that we have an in-universe character that feels tonally appropriate to make fun of stuff. And Kate Bishop's response was so charming and accurate. I think it's so on point. And I love that she called out that she's 23 and not really a young Avenger.
But I didn't. And some people are saying that they feel that it should have been Kate Bishop recurring. No, I think Miss Marvel.
I think it's definitely Miss Marvel. The way they've set her up here, she's I think she's gonna be a leader as she matures.
So I got a black friend. So said, Winston, that's your black friend?
Yeah. You guys see me on the show with him weekly. My number one black friend. That was great. Thank you.
I think Loki would show up again. No one.
I think
everyone shows up again.
I think the Valkyrie cameo would have been way more impactful if it wasn't in the trailer.
Trey Porter, greetings and salutation, boys. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. Deadshot back at it. Thank you. Loki full circle. Some people agree better than the post-credit scene.
Hell yeah!
I think like the setup for the future is crazier in the post-credit scene, which seems to be pulling from the Days of Future Past universe.
Yeah, it was a really weird choice to go there of all of them, but maybe that's how they can have him in certain things and not the other X-Men. Yeah, because I'd love to see McAvoy in them back.
Deadshot, here we are. Loki full circle foreshadow moment is on par to Tony foreshadowing and sacrificing the Arc Reactor was able to help him hold something powerful. Yeah, it's like what's nuts is that with Iron Man, they've had to kind of improvise it along the way in terms of like the next, like they did not even have Thanos in mind until after they shot that random post-credit scene in Avengers.
Yeah.
So they did not have this in mind.
The script wasn't done in Iron Man 1?
It was that this would be the Iron Man arc.
Yeah.
What's great about season 2 is that they were able to map it out.
It was so, that moment we didn't know if they match cut or if they'd somehow pre-filmed because it was a different directing team. I was like, how did they do this?
I feel like Kate should be the one to recruit because she was worked alongside OG Avenger. I mean, Miss Marvel's working alongside Nick Fury,
Captain Marvel,
and Captain Marvel.
Yeah. I also don't think there's like an Avengership membership card that gets handed over when you work with one. I think it's like a personality thing.
Allison Becker, 94. Just once, I want to see Erik Voss and you two. Oh my God, I keep hitting this button.
Refresh. Now it's all lost.
Sorry,
I mean, it's good. We got some live chats, some super chats.
Sorry,
we'll get back. Look at this little sneak preview of what's to come.
I found it. Just once, I want to see Erik Voss and you two on a live stream talking about Marvel stuff for 2 hours, all three. Oh my God!
Doesn't he live somewhere else?
He lives in California, but like 6 hours away.
Oh yeah. It's a big state.
Which is somewhere else.
Oh yeah,
I give you a very
somewhere else.
Give you a very John answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen this movie, the remake or the original? Yeah. Neither.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So here we are. Okay. Ismael Montoya, thank you so much.
Kendrick, the reason we didn't like it is because the first appearance of a full-fledged X-Men looked like a cartoon.
And I also feel like in terms of the way we got to the post-credit scene, because of the movie's journey, where it was, especially I think the last 20 minutes felt especially rushed. The movie just kind of felt like it was going. I've seen some people have a completely different opinion that they thought the first half hour was rough and then it got smooth. For me, it never smoothed out. It just kind of got more like rush, and then like when Dar-Ben dies, and then. And it's like okay, I guess she's dead. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull style.
Yeah,
like she's
and
just dead.
moving on.
And then like, oh, I guess freaking Monica Rambeau has to do this now. And then it was like, well, obviously Monica Rambeau's not dead, and they were like lost forever. It just felt like they rushed to get to it, so I didn't quite feel the catharsis of that moment that I was hoping to feel. Intentionally excellent.
Sure.
Yeah.
I know. And I also thought the end credit scene felt tonally off in some ways because. It had the emotional weight that I wanted the rest of the movie to. Like, I felt like Teyonah Parris's like delivery and that emotional impact. I was like, you guys know you got the girl from Room to be Captain Marvel. Like, maybe you could let her act. Like, I felt like
sure.
there was so many moments.
I liked her more. I liked
her way more. But she didn't get to have a moment of like catharsis about acceptance. She didn't get to have a moment with Kamala about like that mentorship. She got to have a lot more fun and playful. And Carol Danvers felt like a person, but she never got to hit like a depth. And I love that Teyonah Parris did, but then I was like, this post-credit scene feels like what we wanted out of this.
Yeah. I felt like there was an the outline, just the actual script needed finessing, and the outline was reasonably fine, I guess. Greg and Coy are both wrong. Sound like some dumbasses. What's funny about this is the people commenting.
Mm-hmm.
What I want everyone to know is you can only comment if you're subscribed.
I love it.
So if you are commenting hate, then you're subscribed. Like,
also, a movie can only be good or bad. You can't have things to say about it.
Hey, guys, should Loki get recast or will he return? I really enjoyed the Marvels, but like anything else MCU, that X-Men world won't get follow-through.
We're getting X-Men. I don't understand this.
I don't understand.
I think you're saying like we haven't seen Shang-Chi and stuff, but I think that's all. It's all going to be a bigger comeback together with Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. I think it will get payoff. I think the reason we're taking this little break, like next year we're going to talk about the schedule stuff, I'm sure, but next year we're only getting Deadpool 3. We're getting one MCU and then we're getting one DC adjacent film. It's not even DCU, it's just Joker 2. And then we got I believe Kraven and Madam Web over at Sony, but next year is a lot lighter. But then 2025, I think that's going to be really when we see the ship getting rewrote, because basically like they're reshooting Captain America 4 longer than the entire shoot of Endgame.
Right.
Which makes me think it's going to be a new movie. So I feel like everything's getting a very new coat of paint, if not a brand new ship. If you want to go ship a Theseus on it. I don't know if the original ship will be there. But I am very curious how much we get these characters rapidly because of people feeling like, why are we setting stuff up? We haven't had any delivery in a while.
Right. I agree. Thanks for the comment there, Gracian. Mayanak Ranavari. Hey, Greg and Coy. Thank you for the super chat. I saw the Marvels today and I found it fun but not great. My question, will we get a plot point in the future where the adult heroes are against the Young Avengers assembling? Ooh.
Thunderbolts more likely, I think.
Adults versus the Young Avengers?
I think we might get...
fucked up.
Oh, yeah. Just punching kids. Just Nick Fury like, what have you done? Just like a groan. Like, it's like a... Well, because I think Thunderbolts might, but then I picture like the giant that is David Harbour just like pummeling a child. I don't know if that'll work totally for Disney. But Thunderbolts, I think, might be Young Avengers. And I've talked about it a little bit, and Winston and I talked about it a little bit this week on Christian's show, but I do think the Thunderbolts are going to be seen as heroes, and then the reveal of them being more nefarious might come from the Young Avengers being like, you done something wrong. So I could see that element, but I don't see like, I don't know how fist-fighting children will look optically.
Hey, there's a way to make it cool.
Hey.
Have you not seen the movie Kick-Ass?
That's true. And also, Kingpin did beat up Kate Bishop already. So I guess it will work, but...
she whooped his ass.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, I don't know if it'll be Young Avengers versus Old Avengers, but we'll see.
Mike K. Thank you, Mike K. Do you think a longer runtime would have ironed out all the bugs? We're talking about Marvels. Do you think a longer runtime would have ironed out all the bugs? Or could the story benefit from a longer runway, filling in the 30-year gap between the first one? I absolutely think a longer runtime would have helped iron out a lot of the bugs. A lot of things can be smooth. Like, here's the thing. Even in this chat, I have to admit to you guys, this is probably going to trigger some people here. whenever we talk about specifically what we didn't like about the Marvels,
We're looking for stuff to hate. That was the last comment.
whenever we talk about stuff we didn't like, we are giving specific things about the way the movie is executed. And what people always come back with us is, it's fun. That's it. That's all we get back. It's never actually, like, there's never an actual elaboration to counteract what we're saying. So my point to that is that that's really the main thing that people can either walk away with, is like they actually had fun with it in spite of these things that
And I'm
are
glad
criticisms.
for them. I'm jealous.
And the thing is, those criticisms outweighed the fun for us. That's the bottom line consensus for it. And so when talking about like with the things iron out all the bugs, I think absolutely. That was one of the first things I said. It felt like that they condensed a very long, like they condensed a Disney Plus show, which kind of makes sense to me because they have 2 Disney Plus characters in there.
Sure.
They condensed a Disney Plus show into a movie that they felt like they trimmed down the movie then. And I do think a 2.5 hour, like, it needed time to let things breathe, sit in things. And yes, the movie is, yes, it is fun. It can be fun. And that's fantastic if you were able to have fun with the movie.
But Guardians is
but
fun
sometimes
and
you
has
can be
emotional weight.
distracted by it. And at the end of the day, clearly the movie's divisive. And you have to sit in that reality. If we can accept that we have criticisms with the film, but we can gladly accept that there are people who like it and have fun with it, and we are not going to try to change your mind about it or hate you for it, you can clearly accept, well, actually, there's a big other side of the population that really has a lot of issues with this movie, and so that's just the reality of the situation.
I also think that if you watch a movie and you don't like it, you should look for what you didn't like, so
Yes.
that, like, you have thoughts beyond, I didn't like it. I just think that that's, like, how you look at something that you're like, man, this didn't sit right with me. I need to assess it.
Audience score, the movie's a B, which is tied with Eternals and Quantumania. And B is not something that gets repeat viewings. An audience score 2, there are things there where it's not you can't solely go off. I would even say even a cinema score is not exactly accurate, nor is an audience score exactly accurate.
Also, you can't tell a single individual opinion off of the consensus.
The actual word of mouth in real life will be a much bigger determination for how this movie ultimately continues to perform.
Yeah, and even like big reviewer places, like that
Yes.
person reviewing it had an experience, and I hope they liked it. But
Yeah, sure.
if like,
And you can't say you're wrong. It's an opinion, dumbass. God.
yeah, now
That's
Greg's on my side.
That's so stupid. It's a stupid thing to say you're wrong.
Yeah.
about. Like it's a stupid thing to say.
I don't like eggs. You're wrong. I don't like eggs.
It's an opinion. I could go, you're wrong because you liked it. Like that's stupid to say.
Now you're Twitter.
Robert Prusser saw The Holdovers. Easily 9 out of 10. Definitely recommend it. I appreciate the super chat and the encouragement to go watch The Holdovers.
What's the holdover?
I have no idea, but I love that you encourage
Now
more
when I hear
positive
about it,
viewing experience.
I'll know to check it out.
Ryan Swenner. The other thing about the two is that Thor: Love and Thunder was met with a lot of positive reception. So
I liked it.
So people
very
went
first
in with
viewing.
positive expectations, and then when they went to go watch the movie, they didn't like it. Then that audience score shot the way the fuck down. And when a movie, specifically within fandoms like Marvel, when they get really bad reps out the gate, people go in with really low expectations so they can walk away from it going, you know what, heard terrible things, but because my expectations were low, I actually was able to walk away more with the fun than the mess. This is such a repetitive cycle of viewing experience that of course the audience score is going to be higher. And I'm not saying if you liked it, you're wrong. I'm saying this is a common thing that happens, is initial reviews and reactions set the bar for what expectations of audiences are usually going to have. That's the way it goes.
I also think it's like I had a good time with Thor the first time, and then I sat on it, and I was like,
Yeah, same
oh.
way. Same way.
And like then I had a new opinion.
Yeah.
And that's also how opinions work.
Ryan Swenner. Thank you guys. Thank you, Ryan Swenner. Loved it both. This is such a ping pong game of emotions.
It really is. Now I'm like, chill.
Like,
I've just resolved into like, you know.
There's one topic
now
here
you're
love,
hyphy, and
love
I'm like,
talking
man.
about, and there's another topic like, all right, go back to this.
Just lean
All
on back.
Ryan Swenner, love both Loki and the Marvels.
Rewatch is gonna be on this stream with this chaos.
Loki finale. This is one of my favorite streams, honestly, because there's so much fervor to it. Loki finale brought so much emotion and beautiful visuals. The Marvels was so much fun. 8 out of 10. What does PCS stand for?
PCS made me so happy. I probably beast. Oh, post-credit scene.
Oh, PCS.
I had to assess.
PCS made me so happy. It brought me back to my child beast. That's fantastic to hear that you enjoyed it. I'm happy.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
Great.
There
you got
you
joy
go.
out of art. Dope.
I'm happy for you.
And you like legit had reasons to enjoy it, and that's dope.
This is not hard, is it?
I also like. I'm just so happy you had 2 hours of your life was better than 2 hours of mine. Like I want to like this.
Yes.
Like I never understand when people are like, you like everything, and I'm like, wouldn't that bring me more joy? And like why that's a bad thing. And now that I don't like something, it's like I'm jealous of people that liked it because I want that 2 hours to be happy. Like I probably won't watch the Marvels again for a few months, and then when I watch it, if I don't like it again, I've just lost.
You will not hear a single person from any of these screening at the Marvels say that I who said they liked it to me. I decided to have a discussion with them because the last thing I wanted to do was be like, let me tell you why I didn't to ruin it for them. Like I would not want to take that away from anyone.
No.
If you choose to click on a video where the thumbnail clearly shows I didn't like it, that's on you.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, I'm not going to go to someone and actually say.
I've hit every comment and say enjoy it, or like I'm glad you did. Like I want to encourage it. Yeah. I sound so stupid for encouraging things.
Jay, thank you, Jay. Thanks, Greg, for lowering my already low expectations so I could somewhat enjoy it. Felt like a Disney Channel ritual. That's what we were just talking about.
Really, really
and
did.
I think a lot of people actually have that experience where a lot of times when something is loved, you'll see the other camp come out. Even Spider-Man No Way Home is now getting this like wave of shit for some reason.
It was popular.
It's the way it goes. And then if something is disliked, the defenders come out. It's the way it's the cycle of the way things are, and it's so. Sometimes I wish I was on that opposite side.
Often,
yes, where I can, where that way. It happened with me the first time I watched Justice League. It was so hated that when I first watched it, I was like, "Yeah,
I don't quite get it.
Movie's so messy." But I ended up having
Look
fun
at that chaos.
because everyone said it was so terrible.
Yeah. And like there's a couple scenes in there. There's just enough little moments that I'm like, this was fun because it's like
feel really bad for Tom's wife. She's a really great actress. Marvel's fine if they learn from this. Yeah, sure.
And they're clearly learning. They're delaying things.
So.
They're remaking things. They're reshaping things. They listen, and that's why I like the studio.
Yeah, definitely. Izzy Jojo, thank you so much, my friend. Took a Saturday off.
Whoa.
Of work, and I finally got to be here, Love you guys. Oh, thank you, Izzy. I'm glad you could spend your Saturday with us. Thank you so much. Marvels is not worse than Morbius.
I thought it was.
You did?
Legit.
Nice.
I had a better time watching Morbius because I was like, what is happening?
All right, we disagree on this.
And there were passionate performances. Like, I loved what Matt brought to Morbius.
I love Matt Smith a lot.
Yeah, and like that, there was more moments for me.
That's so funny.
I've watched Morbius 3 times.
Wow.
I will probably only watch Marvels one more time.
That is an honest take. You're wrong.
I'm wrong.
Your feelings are invalid.
I don't matter as a person.
You don't matter as a person. Everything is an objective, not subjective experience.
Correct.
Lloyd Templos. Thank you, Lloyd. I liked it. I think it's a fun, humorous movie at times, a little too much like the singing. But like Coy said, I think it's just not what Marvel needs right now. Yeah, I mean, I think a divisive, like the thing is Marvel needs a movie. What's sad about the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 conversation to me is that movie was excellent. Another thing I don't subscribe to is this thing that we ride the Marvel hate train when we literally love the shit out of Guardians 3.
Also, Eternals.
And you really
you defended it some. You defended it some. You weren't like it's an F.
Yeah, no. I think Eternals is better than this.
Oh my God, by a lot. But like when everyone was hating on Eternals, I was out there in the streets.
I would still, weirdly, I would probably still rewatch Marvels over
Oh
Eternals.
no, I like
Honestly, I
Eternals
probably
so much.
like because that to me, I'm like, yeah, if I'm gonna put something on Disney Plus, I'm like, probably Marvel.
See, I don't watch blindly anything. I don't have that button.
fair
Like I
enough,
think
fair
reality TV is
Fair
like
enough,
cancer.
But the sad part about Guardians 3 to me is that for some reason a lot of people just act like, yeah, but that's different because it's James Gunn. It's a James Gunn movie.
I'm like, it's the Marvel movie in the Marvel
very
universe.
much still a Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. So
People are just looking for reasons to have their narrative be true. They're like, it's been shit for a while, and they find narrative reasons.
And I think there's some hilarious moments in that film as well. And I really did love it. I did love Guardians 3. Robert Preusser, thank you so much for saying this. People can't even agree to disagree
you're
anymore.
actually friends with this person. I keep seeing this Tyrone Magnus name. How am I doing a Tyrone Magnus impression? Like, what is this guy's thing so I can understand? Because I just like know he's not great. I don't know him.
I mean, I don't really know how to describe what Tyrone is like. I haven't really watched much of Tyrone's videos lately.
Okay. I just keep seeing his name in reference to me.
The only thing I talk about is the conversation that I know he is often associated with, but I can't speak on the way how like you spoke about Nerdrotic and
right.
the conversation.
And then I looked at his thumbnails and I was like, I was accurate.
The conversation he's around, but I don't know Nerdrotic's videos.
Fair.
And like Tyrone, I think is a little bit more. He is kind of lumped more into like kind of the Nerdrotic.
Got it. Okay, so that's that person trying to say that.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, I talk with Tyrone in person. We get along really well still.
I think if
whenever we actually talk, we get along.
If you guys learned anything from the last live stream, it's I don't know internet culture. I learned that legal eagle is not a firm.
Mason Korea. Hey, cuties. Thanks for being my goats. Talk to you later. Thank you, Mason, for being understanding. Thank you, Mason. Deadshot back in the chat. Thank you so much for being back here. Maybe he was occupied with another thing. But see, Guardians 3 is again a testament to that's a good hybrid of
comedy, drama,
of MCU producer and letting James Gunn do his thing. And I think they should have let that a little bit more with Dean Acosta. Maybe he was Deadshot. Maybe he was occupied with another thing, or he didn't want to do the practical stuff since he's older. Talking about Kelsey Grammer and Beast's practical suit.
Got it.
The issue isn't when they change a gender; they still need to make the character interesting.
Okay, there's 3 different thoughts here that I don't understand.
Was
Who
there
changed
a
the
gender change
Is
here? That
Beast a lady?
I don't know what.
I feel like Kelsey
what
Grammer's voice is pretty deep.
Yeah, I don't know what it's really
Maybe
about.
he's not kind of thing or don't want practical stuff since he's older. Okay.
Is it about binary?
Maybe.
No, but binary is binary.
Oh, maybe they're talking about like I think Kazar might be who Lashana Lynch is playing in that alternate universe.
I thought she was playing binary. Don't they call her binary?
Binary is another character. I just don't know which one. They didn't assess who she's playing.
I thought they flat out
Did they
said
say
it was binary.
Oh, I mean, I love the character of Binary.
Can you guys clarify that in the chat? I'm pretty sure they said it was binary.
Okay. Yeah, let us know because I don't understand this comment and I'd like to because it's a super chat.
Yeah.
So yeah. This is a whoop on my wrist. It's a biometric scanner.
Please clarify in the chat. I'm pretty sure they said it was binary. We are prepared for this stream.
We are so ready.
Beru's hair alive. Thank you so much. I loved Miss Marvel, being a Muslim from Jersey, similar age and family dynamics, and really enjoyed the Marvels, and I hated Thor 4. Yeah, she's binary.
Okay, I mean that's what was my first thought. Then I kept
I'm pretty sure Beast addresses her as binary.
Got it. Okay, and binary like is binary. Like that's
yeah.
So yeah, I don't think that's that's what confused me is like that's not a change.
Right. The chat is 30 seconds behind. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to keep up with the chat. Some people saying that. Yeah,
Tad, I have no interest in talking to Nerdrotic. Like I have no interest whatsoever.
I love the represent. I think that's some great represent. I know a couple of Muslim people, and admittedly, my circle of Muslim friends is not big enough.
You know where they're big? Louisiana, apparently, because they thought it was a good because in the movie they moved this Muslim family to Louisiana, and I'm like, they don't have a mosque there. They're gonna not be with their friends they've grown up with. They just abandoned all of her friends. Like, what a weird thing at the end of that movie where they're like, "Hey, your house got destroyed. Let's move you entirely to Louisiana."
Oh, interesting.
Did you not catch that?
Oh yeah. I didn't think about it in that context.
She's literally the warrior of Jersey City. Like, she's the protector of Jersey City. It's like, let's take Spider-Man out of New York, but Kamala to this time. It's like, I don't understand why. Like, that's her thing.
Oh,
it's such a weird choice.
I really love him, and I love. And one thing I would compliment the Marvels too. I love the family interaction as well. Still, sometimes I did think the comedy on the family, like when they're going to space and stuff, not really being that fazed by it. Like they just chalk it up into that kind of dry humor instead of like reacting to the experience.
Yeah.
Sometimes I was like craving that a little bit, like when they're at Saber, seeing this for the first time. Like sure, they've seen some weird shit,
but they're in
space. This is the first time they're going to space. Yeah. I do think that there should have been some reaction, like a little bit more. But that was one of those cases where I'm having so much fun with the family that I'm enjoying it. Yeah.
Oh, so they're helping Carol move to Louisiana, not them moving. But didn't they say, like, wouldn't this be a good place to raise a child to her brother? I thought it was them moving. They had to move them somewhere. They had no house. They have the money of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah,
they can fix their house. Or Saber. Saber has a space station. They can fix a house in Jersey.
Beruz Heralev says, thank you so much for the super chat. My friend, I realize it's a shitty movie, and what I'm seeing is horrible, but it was still, for some reason, a good time for me. Oh, that's a great feeling to have.
That is. There's plenty of movies that I like that everyone hates.
Great feeling to have.
Like,
man.
I'm trying to think of any, but there's definitely movies that like Eternals I love.
Fucking love Wild Wild West.
Big fan. We do it at karaoke a lot.
Love Wild Wild West.
Cry. I already said it was a whoop. You're yelling at me?
A terrible film, and I love it.
Yeah.
I kind of like After Earth.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a terrible film.
Oh, wow. That's impressive. That's actually like, I'm a big fan of SWAT. I don't know if that's still like loved or hated, but SWAT's my jam.
That's campy fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cameron Cordoni. I think Loki actually outsmarted He Who Remains because I don't think He Who Remains actually thought Loki would destroy the Loom. Do you guys think that we'll use Loki on future MCU films? I think what we brought up earlier was that we think Loki will probably come back via Avengers Secret Wars and will be the one to recruit Avengers across the multiverse to assemble to fight against the bigger threat.
I was corrected. I'm so sorry. It was Carol moving because it was Carol's things, and then she took the one bowl. It was Carol moving in her house. I apologize for my lack of media literacy there. That was my bad. I was already so removed.
Punisher Warzone is a great example. Yes. yeah.
I actually haven't seen that. It's one of the only superhero movies.
Oh my god, what a blast!
I have not
it's so hated, and then I watched it. I was like, "This movie is
There's
so fun."
There's so few superhero movies I haven't seen.
Yeah, but that one felt like intentional in its camp to me.
That's
know?
fun.
Yeah.
Let me answer this too. I'm so sorry for ignoring it for a second.
I have a thing for bad Will, so I kind of do. Yeah.
I think Loki will maybe get used in Secret War, but it seems like Tom Hiddleston's done with the character and done with his contract's up. I think he's out. I think it's a beautiful swan song to the character. I would prefer he not come back. If he does, I think Secret War is the best spot. And also, I do think Kang is still in control. I think that Kang wanted Loki to do exactly what he did, because think about a time conqueror. If Loki is wielding all of those different time streams and encouraging them to grow and literally, like, he's greenifying, that's more things for Kang to conquer. I think all of this was Kang watching over and making it happen. I think he wanted Loki to do it exactly what he did. From the beginning, Greg and I kept talking about how it felt like Kang was manipulating the whole thing. I think to this end, Kang is still in control.
You know, we always felt like that there was a voyeuristic presence in the way they were shooting it. And what if we were watching like Loki's perspective this whole time of the God
I
of
wonder
Stories?
about that. Because like
cool?
him holding it.
That's cool. I'm definitely clueless about the Marvels.
You've had only so many specifics, Greg.
You're gonna have to tell that to a lot of people, Muhammad.
Yeah. Good luck.
You're gonna tell that to so many people. You're all just clueless, and I just know because it's fun.
Yeah.
Tilda Swinton.
Nuanced three-letter words.
As the Ancient One is a good example. Yeah, that's a good example. That's for sure.
Tilda Swinton. Of what?
I don't know. I'm trying to find his previous comment to see what they were talking about.
Oh, was he the one that had a problem with like a gender thing? Was he the one with the binary thing?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
I don't.
bitch read.
Tilda Swinton's Ancient One is a good example of gender swapping being bad.
That's a good example of gender swapping being good.
Yeah, I thought
she was great.
Yeah, I thought she brought so much gravitas and like impact.
I am not anywhere near married to the Ancient One in the comics, though. So yeah.
I also I know the Ancient One very well in the comics. I thought Tilda Swinton's so weird and ethereal. She fit it. Like she's so like enigmatic. She's like Bowie, man. The only one I think would be better would be Bowie.
TM1. Oh my God, Kamala Khan.
Kamala Khan.
TM1, thank you so much. After the Loki finale cements itself as my favorite MCU show, and the character arc of Loki is incredible. Yeah, no, for a long time I've said WandaVision is my favorite, but I do believe Loki has replaced that spot and bumped WandaVision at number 2.
That's
also due to my recently found sexism against the Marvels.
Of course.
Yeah.
Let's not forget the first word in WandaVision is Wanda.
Wanda, yeah. I used to call it Vision for the longest
He
time.
just and then they announced the White Vision show, and he's like, "Well, that seems racist." Can't like Vision more than White Vision. But I think Loki season 1 has always been my favorite because I didn't think WandaVision stuck the landing. I was really bothered by the thing of like Ship of Theseus metaphor turning into punching. It really felt like they had this deliberate, intentional ponderousness, and then they were like, "But we got to end it like a Marvel show." So for me, WandaVision has always been number 2 in shows, but Loki season 2 now the gap between Loki and WandaVision is a little bit bigger. Like I think WandaVision is my number 7. Marvel property of all time of the 45 properties, but Loki's I think like number 4 or 5.
Let's see here.
So I agree.
Olivier Hamlin. Good afternoon, gents. Use this donation for shots tonight.
Thank you.
I commend the way you handle so much negativity. Stay true to your opinions. That is what the true followers are here for. Enjoy the day. I appreciate that very much so. I mean, the most we can do is be true to ourselves. Like, when the screening was done for the Marvels, most people we were around really, I would say most people around us really liked it.
Yeah.
And I had to stick true to how I felt about the movie, regardless of it. Dead Reckoning Part 1. We had to be honest with ourselves.
Yeah, that was
about how
hard because we felt
it.
that felt betrayal.
So that's the odd part about it when you're accused of placating to a crowd. When I'm like, I was at the crowd. I could tell it wasn't the popular opinion.
And it's even harder when, as soon as you vary from your opinion of my opinion, I'm called all sorts of mean names. Because it's like, you want my opinion. Like, why are you here?
Yeah.
But thank you for this because negativity sucks.
I don't think people understand what opinions are.
No, it's just like I said, and thank you seriously, because like I like had literally 2 of the best days of my professional career, and I woke up today jubilant. I usually wake up cranky. I'm one of those people that doesn't sleep well. I usually wake up a little nauseous. I woke up this morning and I literally was tweeting about how happy I was, and I knew hanging over me at noon was a live stream with the fucking internet. And here I am just dealing with the internet. So thank you for the kindness.
I felt the same way, brother.
And here we are because we are men of our word.
Let's speed round through some of these right here. Greg wants to test it, so he's just trying the negative stuff out. 1000%, man.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, dude.
You do sound like the fucking DMV, you cunt. Place I don't want to be and people I don't want to deal with.
No, Coy.
Oh, I mean, you're a subscriber. I must worship your opinion.
You do sound like you're placating, though.
Placating?
Placating what?
I don't know.
I've had nothing but people coming at me in this stream telling me how much they really love this movie. What am I placating to?
I'm very happy.
What am I placating?
Again, I just, man, the rewatch of this is going to be interesting. I'm ready for the comments.
We shot the review before any social media embargo was lifted. How am I going to follow anyone's opinion about the movie?
True. It doesn't make, we didn't know except the people around us.
I had no idea what people actually said about the film because they weren't allowed to release it yet.
Yeah. Hey, that's logic. Don't bring that here. Don't do that.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
Jesus Christ.
Time, as we've learned, can be traveled
through. Use some
through.
logic. It's logic you're missing out on here. I have to call you on it. I have to. I appreciate you being a subscriber and being able to be here in the chat. I appreciate it. But, man, you got to really realize when you're being illogical about a statement.
JTvo, that's fair. That's fair. Thank you. There's 1,300 people, and I'm focusing on one. I'm focusing on like 5.
The Gamer MJ. Hey, man, people are staying. That's cool.
Some people like my rage.
We're placating the negativity to keep people streaming.
It's working.
It's working.
Yeah.
We got to put Brie Larson in red eye.
We need to make sure
thumbnails.
there's yellow outlines around angry Brie Larson candids.
The Gamer MJ, thank you for being here. Thank you for the Streamlabs contribution. Hey, guys, can't stay. I haven't seen the Marvels. I see it tomorrow, but I love the content. That Loki finale was phenomenal. Oh, wait a minute. I need to adjust this here on the actual. Where are we at? Sorry. As the best and favorite for me, whereas my favorite used to be Moon Knight, is Loki the Time Stone now? Fascinating question.
Oh, Justin and Aaron also worked on Moon Knight, so you're fans of them, which makes me happy. I do think the reason the Time Stone is green is now canon to be Loki. I obviously think that when they, wrote it all those years ago, that obviously wasn't the plan. But I do think that has now been established, which I adore. I think that's so genius, so clever. I think it worked out very, very well. I honestly think we might get something big and cosmic out of the reality gem and now other gems. Like, I'm wondering if they're going to do anything with Wanda being so red. I'm very curious if that starts a trend of, like, this big power we discover in Secret Wars.
No, totally, man.
Also, Marley Morgan said, I think you guys are arguing with 12-year-olds. And we might be, which is much like adults punching young Avengers.
Yeah. We don't know who we're... Before you comment, tell us your age.
Please let us know if you're an adult. Is this...
Flip Torrent.
Is this appropriate assault?
Got a couple comments here. First one, you can't see it on the stream. It says, still loves John. Let's go right
Love
here.
John. Here he is.
Muhammad, you have earned yourself. Here's what happens when you're this guy. Bye.
That was enough. We tried. We let like
hide.
We let you
have it.
go.
You have it. You
Some
don't
people just
understand. You're
exist
an
for
illogical moron, and now you can't reply. Ha 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 ha. But you can hear me calling you an illogical moron.
This feels nice. I like the power.
You can't reply.
Now we're Loki in his throne.
That's the best one.
We can't leave our chairs, but we sure can make people quiet. Yes, the power of the
That's how
vibes.
you really argue. Take that! Run away!
And I hope
That's what we just did.
I hope he was 12, because that'd be way funnier.
We reached this point in the stream.
It's happened every time. It's an hour and a half in.
We welcome
We've
him.
gotten slap happy.
God, we need to just become like those other channels who
would make so much
who
more money.
only get the crowd
That agrees with them.
who only
We
gets
need
the
the echo
crowd
chamber.
where we got a critical drinker crowd.
Yeah.
And I'll say, while we don't have an audience that's generally like critical drinker audience, there's a lot of critical drinker videos I actually do enjoy.
I did a show once.
I've never seen an erotic video. I don't think you have. Critical drinker though, yeah. I know it can be very divisive, and maybe there's a lot of people not happy with me saying that.
I'm thinking of somebody else.
But there are some videos I've seen from him where I'm like, you know what? That is I actually really respected his take on this one. Flip Torrent, hi, can't watch Marvel until Tuesday because reasons. So I'll check in later for Loki and new stuff. But for me, Cat Marvel was also a divided film, and I enjoyed it. So the second film has a missed story, but there are some funny moments and fun interactions. I think I'll still enjoy this one. I hope so, too. As for Loki, it was very good. Probably a better isolated show, but for me, WandaVision is still the best MCU show just because it did more for the overall universe as of now, but by Kang Dynasty, that may change. It might change. It might change. I mean, it's kind of crazy. It is. You know what I just realized? Just put this together right the fuck now.
In this moment, epiphany?
Epiphany is that WandaVision and Loki were the first MCU Disney Plus shows, and then this week we got the follow-up to WandaVision and the follow-up to Loki season 1.
Took 2 years. That's a really good point, though.
That's actually pretty nuts.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, oh, but there's actually a part of me that respects a little bit more.
The first two characters
Yeah,
to make
yeah,
it over.
yeah.
I know
Yeah.
Multiverse of Madness
That's-
kids did, technically, but like the first two leads.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's right. There was
It's okay, I
WandaVision. There was Multiverse. Totally forgot about that. Totally played it.
I literally made the same mistake this week.
Wanda actually came back.
I made the mistake this
totally
week.
messed that up. But in terms of Monica Rambeau.
New characters.
In terms of Monica Rambeau coming back. Yes. 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 Alrighty, here we go. We got the comments on screen so everyone knows what we're responding to. Putting chapters in is going to be a nightmare.
Oh, yeah. Have we got a recent chapter?
Dude, I lost track
All
by
right.
the emotional intake.
Chapter 9, emotional intake.
It's very important to not say something that can easily be clipped and take out of context, like what I just said right there.
Yep, there you're done. You're canceled. It's been a pleasure.
Hey, no, I agree. Like sometimes there's things about Critical Drinker that I can understand. I'm not saying like I agree with everything the guy does.
No,
says.
that's definitely what you're
I'm saying there's been some videos where I'm like, hey, that's not a bad video.
No,
like I personally
only hear
yeah,
you.
but I'm saying sometimes there's a video that pops up where I'm like, oh, I decided to listen to it, and you know what? Yeah, I actually enjoyed that one. All right, just clarify a little bit.
Oh, they'll only clip the first part. Don't worry. That
Leg Day
context.
Gregory. Oh yeah, this is the second stream in a row where I've been here after post working out and not showering. I don't think Kate's going to lead the Young Avengers. I'll answer that while I'm loading the latest
Best reaction channel ever. Thank you, Brelin.
I don't think. I think it would be Miss. What about like the Kamala Law and all that? You know, I feel like Young.
I feel like that's coming, and I feel like she also like co-led the Champions, which is definitely a young team that I think they're going to mirror a bit in the Young Avengers story. I think it's going to be probably more Disney Plus oriented because they have so many characters. So I do think it's going to be like a Champions Young Avengers vibe, and that's definitely Kamala. Jed McKay's Moon Knight run is amazing, Ali. I've been very much enjoying the other Fist of Khonshu element and the vampire stuff. It's very good.
I don't know if they need to recast Jonathan Majors. Man, I'll say, though, I thought he was fucking great this season. It really was.
Why is everything... Oh, my God, he's incredible. Why is everything awoke except Five Nights at Freddy's? Excuse me, Five Nights at Freddy's has a woman in it, which clearly implies wokeness.
There was a woman in there.
Also, there were animals of different colors all hanging out. Which clearly bothers people like you. Check yourself.
No. I think he's. Oh,
I'm saying it's also woke.
I read it in a different tone. I read it in why do people say that?
Oh, I think he's just saying.
Or is he saying? Oh, interesting.
He said why is everything woke
you
except
might
Five
be
Nights
right.
at Freddy's, and I was like, well,
that's the problem with text in general is you have like tonality things.
True.
Where you're like, I'm not exactly sure if they mean it this way.
I think it's where we left off. Jay Fernandez.
Jay Fernandez, thank you so much. I completely understand your opinion. Honestly, this is a stream to be remembered for the book score. Holy balls. This has been an emotional punching bag today. God damn.
I haven't drank yet in November. I was already planning on having a beer tonight because I accomplished many life goals with this week's work. But now there will be more than a beer. Thanks in part to Olivier. Because when people say, hey, this is for drinks, I take their word, and I'm a man of mine. Shots will be bought.
Son of a bitch. What just happened?
That's why we're not filming Sunday. I'm just vamping.
What just happened here?
Coy was the best at movie fight speed round. Thanks, Curtis. Good to see ya.
He was. That's how I first discovered Coy.
We did one of the last movie fights ever with homie Tony. I rewatched that recently.
Oh, I understand what just happened here. Hold on. I hit the wrong button.
Have you guys read Astonishing X-Men #1? I think is what it said. I love the Astonishing X-Men run.
Interact with the chat. Best time to interact with the chat is when Greg has hit a technical error.
Vodka Berry smoothie time. I do love a vodka berry smoothie.
Let me fix the stream here.
I'm a bit more of a tequila vodka absinthe man than vodka, but I do love vodka with berries. Justin and Aaron should do more Moon Knight. I think they should do the Kang Dynasty. And not anything. I think they should literally do Daredevil and then pop over to being the new Russo brothers because those guys are very talented. Godzilla interview is amazing. Coy, thank you. That means so much to me. I was literally next to the Keanu Reeves Hall H panel. I think the Godzilla premiere was the most nervous I've ever been because it was not just a property that means the world to me. It was not just me being like an American ambassador for Toho, but it was also me doing my first ever live translated interview where they only spoke Japanese, I only spoke English, and the two translators had to, in real time, translate me and then their response. So it means I had to keep track of how fast they spoke, how fast the translator spoke, how much the audience reacted, and keep it moving. So it was very hard. So I very much appreciate that.
Yeah, man, I heard you did a great job.
Your brother was there. I got to see him. It was like a really cool thing to run into him.
Thank God I wasn't there then. That's what I'll say.
Mid-movie, Godzilla versus Kong.
You watching? You watching Jabby?
I'm learning some shit.
I'm
learning stuff in real time.
Huh? I will not promote Cinepals and Cinedesi.
I'm back to being in a good mood.
Thanks, Aisha.
Caffeine just hit.
Appreciate it. Nice seeing your face here again. I've entered Coy terrain.
We're switching.
Jay Fernandez, I completely understand and respect your opinion. Personally, seeing beasts like that, no, I know how you're saying it. Personally, seeing beasts like that makes me feel more relief because I was nervous of how Marvel would do F4 the thing. Oh, yeah. No, it's not on that level. My God. No. The thing, okay, yeah. If it was a completely new beast and then Beast show, if it was a completely new beast and then there was CGI, trust me, not one part of me, I would have been like, I wish it was practical, but what are you going to do?
But instead, it's a downgrade.
But we saw him demoted. That's the part of it. Because when I first heard his voice, I was like, oh man.
Yeah, it was
yeah, it really bothers me.
Yeah.
And, and I do have a bias because one random profession that I happen to know people in is the makeup
Sure.
effects profession.
I also am an advocate for practical effects and know people in it, so I totally agree.
It's like like a profession I have no actual dealings in myself.
Yeah.
But I just know so much about the world, and I understand the dismay when it's like this could have been done practical. Like there was an argument for Thanos, and that was one I actually kind of defended a little bit, where I was like, well, yeah, it would have been cooler practical, absolutely. But you know, to
They
get
did a mix though on the first one.
to get
Damien was a
yeah,
blend.
yeah, but to get the Josh Brolin performance,
Oh,
where, like,
yeah,
when
yeah.
they're fighting Iron Man, he's like towering over Robert Downey Jr. Like that's a little bit different.
Yeah, the T-Rex cannot be made full
Yeah,
practical.
exactly. Versus this situation. Anyway, but no, I mean, hey, I'm happy for you, brother. I'm
Yeah,
happy
that
for you.
agreed.
Yeah.
I'm stoked. I just also, all of this aside, at the end of the day, and this I say from the bottom of my heart, whether or not I liked the movie or not, whether or not Greg liked the movie or not, there are hundreds of people per hour discovering Kamala Khan for the first time. There are hundreds of people per hour picking up a comic book or at least acknowledging them. If they're not picking them up, they know more. And there are people right now, again, talking about the X-Men, which is something that I have loved since I was 2 years old. And so all of my personal issues with the film, I am so glad it exists, and I'm so glad Beast is in the conversation again. So please understand that I will be critical because I'm trying to have media literacy conveyed to the people, but at the same time, the X-Men is always going to be exciting. I just wish he looked like Beast.
Sure. Allison Becker 94. Thank you so much. They have no life or job. Don't pay attention to them.
See, he wants to be mad at woke stuff. See, Five Nights at Freddy's.
Okay,
Yeah, so I had the right tone. I just
okay.
wanted to correct the sarcasm.
Sure. Interesting you're here. We're not the channel. But thanks for subscribing. You guys are amazing. Imagine hating people because people disagree with you. Embarrassing. Hey, man. It's the world we live in. It's part of the job of being, when you do anything that is from a critical standpoint or an opinionated standpoint.
Yeah,
it comes with the territory, you know?
I used to host.
It's okay, you guys. That is a funny disagreeing comment.
Whoa! What do we got?
I gotta say that's a funny disagreeing comment. Ebony Leopard. It's okay, you guys didn't like the movie. No one is right all the time. that classy.
That is so condescending. That's so funny.
That was funny. That was really funny. Yeah.
Much love, Jacob. What was I gonna say? What was the last comment?
How dare you?
Yeah!
How dare you?
No. Yeah. Like, I was gonna say, I started hosting with late Phase 1, early Phase 2 Marvel, and there was so much less animosity and there was so much less like stupidity on the internet space about comics then.
Sure.
I don't think I could do this now if I'd started then, but it is part of the job to deal with dumb. And like, I think that's why you have to get to a certain point where like you can go like, okay, this is the job I've got to endure. And like a lot of it is enduring.
I will say, too, Sam Spring, I love you, Greg. I love you, Sam Spring. Thank you. What I love is about Iman Vellani's experience that she's been having recently is that there's so many people who did not watch Miss Marvel.
So saying hundreds of people discovering Miss Marvel
who don't like the movie Marvels, but then they'll say, but I thought Iman Vellani was great.
Mm-hmm.
I am seeing that happen so much.
If this is a trailer
that
for the
speaks so much volumes to just how great she is, because even people who don't like the movie are like, but this is my first time seeing Kamala Khan and Iman Vellani. She's excellent.
Yeah.
And I think that is amazing.
It's a commercial for Miss Marvel. That's amazing.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's really the power of Kamala Khan getting discovered, which is great. And hopefully they pick up her comics because she's such a consistent run. There are no valid criticisms we've given.
Give valid opinions to why the movie's great other than just saying it's fun.
It's still the same guy.
Still
that same 12-year-old that likes guns.
Just say it. Just really list it out. Really just detail it out.
Just let us know. Break it down. Coy, did you hear that Creative Minds
must be
Beef and the Bear writing Thunderbolts? What? The Bear team is writing Thunderbolts? I did not know that. Thank you. That just made my day better. I was a little worried about the Thunderbolts. Now I am less worried because The Bear is one of the best TV shows of all time. Thank you.
Jackie Mason. Just wanted to send, thank you, Jackie. Just wanted to send you guys some love. Thank you, Jackie. Love watching and listening to Real Rejects and Coycast.
Hey! Hey, a Coycast listener.
Coycast getting some love.
I never know because it's just me yelling into the void. Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you, Jackie Mason.
My podcast is a weird thing because I'm so used to the internet that I'm like so used to the visual element. It feels like I'm just talking to myself. It's so crazy to be on a podcast.
Let's see here. Alvin Everett, thank you so much. Thank you for a really generous super chat. I liked it. I felt the emotional moments. The cons are great. Not all villains need to be complicated. I thought Dar-Ben was good. Personally, I really felt like I could feel the intention of what they were going for nuance, but it tonally registered as a bit flat for me. I could see the intention, though, for Dar-Ben of, like, she's not just a straightforward
villain.
antagonist.
She's got the history.
Yeah.
It just didn't land like everything else.
Yeah, I could see the intention for it, but whenever they cut back after, like, wacky moment, it felt very similar to, but on a kind of like Ronan the Accuser, when they would cut back to Ronan in Guardians, where it's like, you're fun. Now let's just try to, like,
righteous vengeance.
Generic, serious tone about this character.
Yeah, it's
And-
really weird to balance that.
Yes, that was the part of it that again, like I said, a lot of it comes down to how the execution of like I actually really liked the I actually would. I could speed read. I just read yours, JTV.
Yeah, I mean, or you could just like list a couple points at all.
Yeah.
I mean, that would help. Also, Cry, thank you.
Yeah, let's a couple points.
And the Coycast love makes me happy. You can listen to Coycast on anywhere you cast your pods.
So what were we just talking about?
The nuance of the villain Dar-Ben.
Oh yeah, the flashback I thought was so intriguing. Of
And then it was like an
Hala.
SNL skit though of like thunk. Like it just felt like I don't know.
But you see, that was another thing too, where like I thought the flashback was a great thing to explore, to set up, to show like the gray to this, like, oh, Kamala, Miss Captain Marvel thought she was doing something right, but she actually caused a lot of damage and harm. And then she has like the thing where she does the lamented to like Monica Rambeau, and Iman Vellani is, you know, privy to the conversation when she's talking about it. And again, it was just sort of just a few passing lines about it, when this should have been a weight that was really simmered in and dealt with throughout to really zero in on her journey. You know,
and I feel like that character could have had that if they'd, again, a little bit more runtime, like we talked about earlier.
it's just passing through. It's like
everything was just
pass
passing
through. Just having it there is not enough.
No, feeling it is what you get out of a movie. Acknowledging something and feeling something are different.
It's like if there's a really bad song, and you're like, what are you talking about? There's a guitar, and there's a bass there, and there's lyrics.
Someone
it's good.
is singing.
So then what are you talking about? Like, no, but the way the song is done.
Yeah, which is why movies have levels of good
sure,
or bad.
They had a thing there.
Yeah, but I didn't
and
feel
I
that
often
thing.
feel, yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. But hey, like, being able to be forgiving on it, even if you're like, yeah, it wasn't that great of a villain. Like, sure, that's fine. Like, I think the performer's not bad. I forget her name, but I don't think she's bad. It was really, and again, I'm like, I don't even like to look at it. I'm like, I can't really comment on the writing. Iman's great. The Young Avengers, excellent, and Biden make me excited for the future. Happy to hear that.
Hell yeah.
Happy Hogan is a sip. Who's winning in a fight, Roxy or Tara? Much love. Ooh, you know, Tara's a little bit more medic. However, Roxy's from Boston. And
I'm gonna go Roxy. I mean, Tara's great, but Roxy's scrappy, man.
I think Roxy's much more confrontational.
I think
too.
Roxy would fight until she's burger.
Yeah.
Like Roxy would fight until she couldn't stand. She's like invincible.
Think so?
Like the character Invincible, I think she would literally fight until she was burger. She's
That's
like
true.
so
That's fair.
scrappy.
That's a fair point.
I wouldn't mess with Roxy.
I agree, Ebony Leopard. It's not a shorthand isn't bad sometimes. It's about the quality of the execution. It's not about length. You know,
It's about girth.
it's about what the story requires. If you are jam-packing 3 completely different storylines into one movie, not to mention Nick Fury's storyline. What happened to his wife, by the way?
What happened to him having any sort of PTSD
what
or
happened to
trauma?
any of
He's
that
like,
character?
I really had a rough time, but
what
things are
happened
great
to
up
that?
here in space.
What happened to that? It's not about make a long movie. You
No.
can make a tight 90-minute film
Hell
if you
yeah.
wanted to. It's about what does the story you are telling, does the runtime need to be longer for the scenes to be properly executed?
It felt like there was one
Yeah.
fully fleshed out character in the three. They had one comedic character in Kamala. They had one a pondersome character in Carol, and they had one scientific, strong character in Monica. And they would basically use each one of them in that scene to make a character instead of making a nuanced character. And since we didn't have time with any of them, they all did the best they could with what they had, but it wasn't anyone that had any real fleshed out weight.
Other than knowing the information, did you really care about the people at Hala? Probably not. Did you really care about the singing planet when they were being attacked, or were you just kind of keeping up with the information as it kept going?
I was physically uncomfortable.
You know, that's kind of like my point with it is, did you really feel like stakes?
Naval thinks I'm old enough to be your father.
And like, can it be fun? Sure, why not? But I'd rather just. I think at this point in the MCU,
which is why I said this isn't what the MCU needs right now.
Is it bad to ask? Is it something bad to just kind of want something that is more than just a passable Disney Plus show?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
We should have more. We've earned more.
Yeah.
They've earned more. And that's what I said about like this is what Marvel needs right now. And I man, the amount of like alt-right fucking Twitter that picked up on that is not what I wanted, but it is what's inevitable. But yeah, I think not what we need right now is like there's a certain expectation of quality, and then there's people like Variety making those articles, which have been now that that's been disproven so much, every single person that got like commented at me that like I was making up stuff, like the article literally said after the events of the Loki finale, Kang is a must. I'm like, they kind of wrote him out if they need to.
When Nick Fury, the Marvels were originally supposed to release before Secret Invasion, possibly explaining his character in the Marvels. You see, that's a problem with the Marvel.
When you move dates around.
Game night J14. I personally had fun watching the Marvels, which is the main thing I care about. Any thought on the movie's plot being the same as the plot of Spaceballs? Suck. I actually didn't notice it till I forget someone.
That's really funny.
It might have been Dan Merle who pointed that out. I forget someone pointed it out. But yeah. I didn't really notice it at the time, but that is kind of a funny correlation to draw.
Yeah,
that it would come from a spoof movie. Of
I mean, I said it felt like SNL at times, man. That Power Ranger scene when they like suit up was rough for me. Like the lackeys behind Space Prince there was, I don't know, man.
I don't know the plan. Yeah, there was like I would like the shots when the three of them are on screen together.
Hold on. Bullets Nation came back with this nuanced reason it's good because 85% of people liked it. It's good.
Did he start a new account?
But literally, that's...
Wait a minute. This seems like the exact same comment from the person who I hit high user.
No, this guy's been in the whole time. But I just love that we asked him to say what was good, and he responded with people's statistics, which makes something good.
What is the general user rating? To say loved is a very fascinating word.
But also just it doesn't matter what other people think. It matters what you think.
Yeah, it matters what you think, and we're just here for our opinion.
Oh, what a sad little man.
Yeah, man.
Anyway, I'm glad you had fun with it, Game Night J14, and I do think...
Bullet Nation, I got a question for you. Did you like Thor Love and Thunder?
Because people didn't.
Did you like Thor Love and Thunder? I want to know.
We are now doing this stream just for you.
Yeah.
It's come down to it.
I want to run a little experiment here. Because according to Rotten Tomatoes,
76%
70.
people.
So you're wrong.
That means it's a
everyone who doesn't like it is wrong.
Because 76% of people did.
So it wins.
That's how
right?
opinions work.
This is how we're gonna do this.
If you want to be 12, we'll be 12.
Yeah.
Don't challenge us not to be immature. We'll be immature all day. Do you want to go?
I'm gonna show you.
I lost Greg altogether. I'm
gonna show you.
He's
guys,
become me in the beginning of the stream. I'm trying to be mature. I can't even see the chat.
Here's a 5-star review.
Here's Greg.
Here's a 5. I screenshotted this. I knew someone bring this up.
He's ready.
Here's a 5-star review from Rotten Tomatoes because if you're going to use this as your argument for why it's 100% a winner, Bullet Nation. On the audience score, verified. I can't wait to fly throughout the universe in the kingdom of heaven. Thanks to Elohim for giving us the Passover. WATV.org.
I definitely saw that movie.
5-star review. So we're really going to take into account that every review there is for sure a winner, for sure real.
I like being the adult
for
now.
Sure. Yeah, we for sure about this.
Greg saved that for this moment.
I'm just saying.
I'm so glad
you can't solely rely on that as your winner, as your thing to highlight.
Rotten Tomatoes has a show called Rotten Tomatoes is Wrong, which I do often. It's not a reliable optic. It's also about your opinion.
Like, you fucking A. Right? Say what now? What does that mean? I don't know what it means. It's an advertisement with a 5-star review from a verified account.
Who knows?
How can we trust that it's always supposed to be like you can't trust it? I do think the interswapping power. Something I gave it credit for.
Sure.
I do like the interswapping powers. That was in our review. I said that. Like that was some of the best action. And I'll say in the living room fight scene, I thought some of the stunt work too with Monica Ram. Like sometimes I have a notice like, oh, there's actually the actors in camera doing the fight scenes with the some of those ones. Those are really good.
Agreed.
That was really good. Nate Saunders.
Loki
Loki season 2. Where are we? Is this on screen? Was awesome. Kind of sad that he feared being alone. Thank you for the super chat. But the only way to save his friends is to be alone for eternity. I know. I just keep thinking it must be so boring.
Well, episode 5
I can't help but think about Loki just being bored.
It's just such a curse.
Oh, man. I can't eat. I can't go to the bathroom.
You don't know if that throne has a hole in it.
I feel like they've been just setting up Loki to be the most patient mofo. Even in Thor Ragnarok, when that joke when he's falling through for like
been falling for however long.
Yeah.
I think cursed with glorious purpose is that very thing. Like he's cursed to that throne. It is sad, and I love the setup of episode 5 of making him like, I just want my friends to be happy, and the only way to do that is to be cursed with glorious purpose.
Exactly.
It is so like that is the MCU done exactly right. Love it. Agreed, Nate. Agreed.
I totally love like wacky, weird stuff that could totally work. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, I think, is a great example.
Rango. I fuck with Rango. So heavy.
Everything Everywhere All at Once, a great example where you could do like super strange things. I thought the Singing Planet the way it was, I think there was a longer version of just like segueing into it that just felt like there was an oddity to the way it was done. It's kind of hard for me to explain in the way. Like there were people that I could feel cringing.
Oh, me?
I was cringing at it, and again, it's more of an emotional reaction to something that is happening on screen, where you kind of just got here. You don't really know. It's kind of strange that Carol's not explaining what this planet is until they're like right then and there. That there's this whole history with the prince. Like there's something that could, and also like how there's something that I just realized right now of how like they have like a throwaway joke of when they. I actually kind of like that joke. Where he's like, he's bilingual.
That was a funny joke. Not worth the rest.
But then they don't continue to sing.
Also, like, you can do it right because Guardians of the Galaxy ends in a dance-off.
Yeah.
That's a movie.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, that's how you...
Yeah.
There's still weight.
See, the Cats thing was something that I was like, this is...
I wanted to like
that worked on a bias for me because I'm such a cat lover.
Cat people.
But that was one of those cases where I can actually meet some of the people, too. Where I can go... Look, I get why people don't like this scene. I'm here kind of going, this is not exactly smooth.
I didn't think it was good, but I went cats.
Flurkin being threatening to this is now the thing that saves people, and we can control newborn Flurkins to be able to then swallow human beings. And not ingest or digest or anything like that. Like, that's so like you got to think about some of the illogical thought process here that we're going to take a chance on newborn Flurkins to just not digest here, that they automatically just spit people out.
Hell of a leap.
Yeah. You know, like, but as a cat lover, I'm like, it is fucking adorable what I'm looking at right now.
I do like kittens.
Yeah, I do really love cats. So, yeah. Seeker of the Matrix. What time is it? I got to check this, guys.
Like 2?
What happened to there? Got people come. My God, what happened to this?
Oh, no, Gregory. Are we still live?
We are definitely live.
Good.
I got to bring it back. Hold on a second.
Chaos. Let me see if there's anything moving in the live chat. I think you can see the live chat. I
Hold
can't even
on
help.
A second,
I can't even help everyone. Chaos, guys. Cats and dogs living together.
I found it.
He's on Twitter.
I'm back.
I don't know what's happening.
Stream is taking the wind out of me right now.
He is emotionally distraught. Thank you, Will. Appreciate it. Thank you.
I can do this all day. Except till 3. We got a hard out at 3:30, so I got to stop the supers at some point.
That's fair. That's smart. We got real life to live. Yeah, Tori, I also wanted us to linger on the Kamala being horrified by the reality of saving who you can, but that lasted for about 45 seconds. Did I ever think my cat would swallow you
I
and then
just read
vomit
your
you out
comment, Kai.
after watching the Marvels? I'm just curious. I have often looked at him when he's snuggling me and gone, if this is how I die, that's okay.
What are we talking about?
If my cat's a flirkin. Oh, the stream crashed. Screenshot just posted a Marvel's ending explained video. I mean, it seems pretty linear to me. Do you think Tom Spidey will start cracking jokes? I think we'll get a more jokey Spidey when he's small town, like hometown hero. I definitely think that's the upcoming Spider-Man arc. Hopefully Tom wants to come back and play. I know he's signed on, but I just hope he wants it more. Like, I just feel like he's very happy, like living his golf life.
Okay.
I want him to be happy.
In 20 minutes, we got to turn off the super. Like 20, we're gonna read every super chat and stream that comes in, but we got to like stop allowing submissions. Yes,
in 20 minutes.
20
so
minutes.
20-minute warning.
Just a heads up, because I have to make sure we end on time today.
Yep. For real, though.
A hard out in 30 minutes. So we're going to speed round. 10-second end. No, I'm just joking.
Lillian Gao, Jonathan Majors was absolutely incredible in this season, and his performance, I missed him as he remains. To see him back filled me with so much joy, and to see, obviously, I was impressed by the difference between Victor and He Remains already, but to have the two in the same episode both being leads and the complete difference, at no point did I think that's the same actor. It felt like a variant because of his performance. He's incredible.
You know what I also think is really great about John. No, we got to stay on track.
I was listening to live chat.
Remind me about Jonathan Majors in a second.
Ready. Creed 3.
Seeker of the Matrix. Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
Loki became Atlas, was the custodian of the multiverse.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that. I mean, I think that's the common perspective on it.
I'm taking one of your almonds.
They're delicious. They got the little like spice on them. She packed me a little like a snack.
Oh, Coy
really
has
sweet.
a girlfriend,
and she makes me little snacks. But I think that is an interpretation. I didn't think that instinctively because I don't think of that character very often. I do think of the God of Stories as more of what he's doing because that is a Loki thing. But it does work narratively. I just don't think of the character Atlas very much. I complain like a little baby child.
Yeah, you little bitch.
Little baby
That's what
child.
you are. You're a little bitch, Coy.
But I got nuts in my mouth.
Bitch. That's right. I've joined the audience.
That's right.
You're a bitch.
Now we've turned on each other. Now the ultimate betrayal.
You made it work.
You be the live chat, I'll be you, and we'll fucking do it. 12-year-old stream. Deal with it. This is what the Marvels has wrought. This is what Loki and the Marvels has wrought.
The Trib one. Hey. Thank you, Trib one. Do you two think there will be a Loki Thor team-up movie down the line? It's just Thor going, Loki, we must go. And he's like, I can't leave the branches.
I control all of
if
time.
I move from this chair,
it all ends. Do you want to get mom spaghettied? You know Rene Russo spaghetti wasn't that good. If Rene doesn't make the Russo spaghetti, then Odin gets angry. And you don't want to see Anthony Hopkins angry.
Are blistered.
He starts to eat people when he doesn't have mom's spaghetti.
They've got to do just a really funny post-credit scene in the Secret Wars of just him just like so tired.
Just waiting.
He's practically crucified in that moment. You know what I mean? Thank you, Lillian. You're a sweetheart. I appreciate that. Rune King, Thor, and Goddess Thor. If you were a guy, I would have said you're a sweetheart too. I just want to say, I just
called me a
you're
sweetheart all
probably
the time.
a woman. I'm sorry.
It's a neutral term.
I
I say dude.
Hey, toots. I'm really doubling down on what I could
really committed. Now that's the clip out. You just called somebody toots in a live chat.
How you throwing sweet
Next
chicks?
up, Mel Gibson Sugar Tits coming out. Everybody's waiting for it.
Rune King, Thor, and Goddess Stories, Loki versions. Maybe. Happy for Resolute Loki. Every stream goes this way. We're so serious.
It just true.
And then we just fucking
2 hours hits and we're like, ah!
But yeah, that's our take on it, the Trim one. Tyler won. Thank you for the super chat. Coy, read it.
Super chat. Hi, guys. Do you think Loki is now more powerful than characters like Wanda and Strange? Do you think Loki is the best MCU so far? Your last question first. Yes, I think it's the best MCU so far. We just talked about it earlier, and it was already mine, and now it's elevated even more. I think Loki Season 2 actually elevates the Loki show above a few of the movies that it had been behind. Loki Season 2 cements it, and I think my top 6 or 5 Marvel. I need to redo my list. I'm probably going to post that tomorrow. And Wanda and Strange. I think Wanda is more powerful than Strange because of the ability to control more things in the Darkhold, making the dark magic a little bit more corrupting. And I think that it's actually Doctor Strange's morality that keeps him not as strong, which is a good thing for a hero to have. I think much like Batman won't kill, Joker will kill. The thing that makes Wanda stronger is Joker's willing to have chaos energy. The Darkhold makes Wanda more like that, and thus that lack of innocence, I think, makes Wanda a little stronger. Whereas Loki, I think, is the strongest of all of them, because if you can rewrite the story of life itself, if you can, in the comic books I explained briefly on our review, there's this thing called the then and now and the House of Ideas. The House of Ideas is like in our life, in our real life, it was the Marvel bullpen. It was where ideas came from. So the House of Ideas was a thing made manifest into the comics as a way to meta narratively talk about creation itself. Loki is the only person that remembered going to the House of Ideas. So it's like the idea that the character of Loki remembers meeting the writers of Marvel in an abstract way, not in a literal way. But they add that to the concepts of then and now. And so Loki, with that trifecta of power, is able to literally manifest stories themselves by remembering the then, the now, and the House of Ideas itself. So he's able to conjure the idea of a story and speak it, and as an ultimate orator, create reality through orating the story of his own reality. So he could conceptually overwrite Wanda from ever existing, Doctor Strange from ever existing, making him the most powerful.
When I scroll him and remove it, I'm a great answer.
You said speed read, and I fucking handled it.
Audience score on Rotten Tomatoes right now, all audience is 73%. So it's still winning.
It's a banger.
Damn it. Damn it. We need this to get validation.
We
boy.
hate everything. And if that doesn't reflect that, we fail. And that doesn't be, if that isn't our opinion,
oh no,
we're wrong.
Oh no.
What'd you move on to? I was talking.
Yo, Richie Brash. Key line, I think, was replaced with something better. Hey, he does stand up. He wouldn't be replacing Kang if he was at the beginning of time. See?
That's an interesting point.
See?
I can see that
You're
perspective.
wrong. That's why you're a bitch, Coy.
That's why I'm a bitch. I cry like a little baby. I'm a cry about being wrong. I totally see where you're coming from. I just feel, for me, that they reflect each other. I think the whole show being about an Ouroboros ties into my feelings on it, but that line does exist, and that would explain those people's take on it being a replacement. It just doesn't feel like a replacement to me. But that's a great point.
Dude, I'm on the same page as you, man.
I can't see anything. Can't see live chat. All I see is Rotten Tomatoes.
Dude,
What do you want me to do with this? You want me to read them?
Oh, mild-mannered comic nerd. Thank you, mild-mannered comic nerd, for changing the conversation a tad bit here. We need a little breather here. Love you guys.
Thanks.
Which is scarier in a fight? Batman laughing or Spider-Man not talking? Saw the Marvels. Love the movie. Emotions? Thanks for explaining Loki, the ending, reminding me of Gabriel Delotto's artwork. Oh, my God, that's so beautiful to hear.
I said Asad Beast, but I totally see Gabriel Delotto as well. He's a genius painter. He does really stunning, like, mural work.
Aren't you knowledgeable?
I mean, I read some comics.
Aren't you knowledgeable?
Sometimes I open a book or seven.
Oh.
That said,
You pretentious twat.
oh, this guy knows how to read. This literate fuck.
Not just read, but interpret art.
And enjoy it or not, and have opinions that flesh out his feeling about it. Condescending.
But to answer your question, I think
elites.
Batman laughing, because Batman laughing means he's cracked and he's about to go to the dark side.
That said, Spider-Man not talking means he might be in that black suit and ready to throw down. I like.
Oh, you can tell if he's in a black suit.
He might be upset if he's in a black suit. You know, the Venom suit, symbiote action.
Venom.
Well, there's this great art called Venom, or called Spider-Man Back in Black, where he puts on the black suit because he knows he's gonna throw hands. And I've always liked the idea of him like manifesting, like I've lost it. So I think it's close. Spider-Man's close, but I think Batman laughing is pretty terrifying.
Dude, I think most people love that post-credit scene in the Marvels.
I'm very happy for him.
All right, guys, this is the last live stream we're ever gonna do.
Ever. Because
All right.
of people like some of you. The four of you.
Because there's been
the four of you.
There's been some, not the majority.
No, not even close to the
but
majority.
that some
but just some.
have just ruined my
Don't
life.
even want to deal with anybody ever again. In fact, I'm going to become a recluse.
In fact, I'm shutting the channel
done
down.
with the internet. I'm going to delete all my socials because of 4 12-year-olds.
No, dude, Bullet Nation 17, he clarified.
I don't know if that makes me feel better or worse.
It
that he
does
should
not.
Be.
It
he
does
can
not.
drive.
He's still got some years on him to understand how to communicate.
No, but he can drive.
The
That makes me feel like he's more mature. He's too mature.
He might not drive. It's Saturday, and he's here.
That's true.
Unlike
His name's
everyone,
Bullet
it's
Nation.
only adults.
I mean,
definitely
adults.
Definitely have adults.
Yeah, but we're
here.
tired. When you're past
I can't
27,
think straight.
you're tired.
I'm trying to take a shot at someone,
At a
and I'm
17-year-old
not
child.
doing a good job.
How
at
are you
doing
not
it.
punching
I
down at a
can't
child
even,
well, Greg?
I don't know how to punch down
You
at
gotta
kids.
hit kids correctly.
Dude.
That's the clip out.
The what has happened? Great channel, very informative. Right when that shows up, gotta hit kids correctly. Great channel, very informative.
This feels like a solid assessment of what we put out here. Oh man.
Oh,
Yep.
man. What are we talking about?
I haven't even started drinking yet.
Long time watcher here from the Trib One. First time I live watcher. Oh hell yeah.
Thank you.
Great Loki finale. I'm wondering when and where we'll see Renslayer. I'm thinking of Deadpool 3. Shoutouts to my man, Heavy Spoilers, who said that he thinks Ravonna might be looking at Kang the Conqueror in that scene instead of Eliath. Because we are not high. It is the emotion sketch.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
think.
madness.
We're definitely broke. I'll gladly own that right now. I'm not going to try to maintain our composure.
Not even gonna
I'm
close
chugging
that.
down in G Fuel like it's alcohol right
Yeah,
now.
no, it's that kind of day. But also, if we were high, I'd be like under the table thinking aliens are studying me. Weed does not suit my brain.
Okay, so
You'd know.
Would you, Coy?
Talking about things.
All right, listen, everyone.
Focus up.
Are we still talking about Marvel? It's the title of the stream.
Is Loki here
so
in the
you-
room with you right now?
Okay. He thinks his Renslayer is looking at Kang.
Okay, because the purple glow.
Because the purple glow, and the fact of her reaction does not seem like horrified.
Mm-hmm.
Because normally, if you're going to come into Eliath who's that close,
But she like can control Eliath.
how can she control Eliath? Do you know who Eliath is?
It's a
Do you
big
remember?
wind boy.
Yeah, and then Loki and Sylvie had to go through like the fucking whirlwind to
There was
enchant
something
it.
about. You're right. I don't know what I was thinking.
I don't know how Kang is showing up like that, but they're thinking it could be the pyramid one, the Prince one with what's your Kang is that?
The pyramid one.
Oh God, what is that?
Oh man, what is his name? Is this game Immortus? Immortus.
Bullets Nation saying this in the comments that we can't deal with. I'm like,
Yeah.
he's been out here
What's he
attacking us
just doing?
for disagreeing.
Has he just been in here? Does he feel bad? Is this like
disagreeing with
guilt?
us, and he's saying you can't handle the difference in faith.
I love that a 17-year-old
He's just
is
like,
still in here.
You can't handle the difference, like, dude. You've been so
It's been
upset
2 hours.
having to defend it, and you're coming at us saying that. I'm actually crying out laughter.
This went from like my most.
The irony.
I like just didn't want to do the
such a
stream to
Ramadan.
Ramadan.
The
Thank
irony
you.
of such a statement.
After all of that,
After all that
is amazing.
You can't handle this.
like we're here for like, work,
You're
and
the
he's
one
still
who's
in
like,
here.
Hey, 85%.
You have a different opinion than me. I must stress it for
Here's
2
why
hours.
you're wrong.
I'm just so.
Oh my God.
I'm just so entertained by like the recurring theme of a 17-year-old.
Lack of logic on that.
He'll figure it out.
So
He's going to be voting soon.
when
Greg.
he's 21.
He will be
When
voting
he's
soon.
21, he'll figure it
He'll be electing the next president of the United States.
It's so funny. I'm not even gonna break it down. You got to like reassess. Oh yeah, let's look
When
at
you
this.
listen to the
look,
song
I might have forgotten
Ironic.
the Streamlabs. I gotta look at the Streamlabs really quick.
Oh yeah, the Streamlabs, bring it back.
Oh guys.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank you,
we've
chat.
been told to get back on track.
Thank you, chat.
Ramatot, not Immortus. Thank
Okay,
you.
hold on a second. Let me
Morton
fix this.
Joe. Hey, you didn't even have to go to the bathroom and be confused. We're confused. We haven't left
We're
these
confused.
chairs.
We're confused.
These
too.
chairs right here.
Let me just.
Did you get like 4 hours sleep last night too?
Dude, maybe.
I think that explains some of this.
I took a melatonin and didn't sleep well.
Oh, that's the worst feeling.
Yes, I'm a little bit. Oh my God, yeah, we gotta catch up here. Everyone, catch up. All right, Twisted Viewing. Thank you, Twisted Viewing. Twisted Viewing. Everyone, listen up, listen up. Theory and Nexus being literal replacements for Infinity Stones. Wanda, reality. Red, Loki. Time, green. Kang, space blue. Renslayer, taming Eliath, power, purple.
Someone else said a Renslayer taming Eliath thing. I'm not crazy.
How can she though? I don't understand. Leave Soul in my any thoughts. Maybe strange for Soul and Vision. Xavier for mine.
Like some sort of Illuminati thing with the. I like that idea. That's what I was implying earlier. I don't know about Renslayer because I don't know if she has any sort of like time ability because I feel like that's part of the need for Kang. But I do like what you're putting down here.
Very well said, because I have no idea how to respond to that.
Well, no, like the Nexus beings would be the ones that are,
we must
tied
move
into,
on.
The gems are reflective of Nexus beings.
I think Loki Season 2 is one of the best things the MCU has ever put out. One Piece is real, says that. I hope they use him. Don't worry, Coy. I'm going to get out of here on time. I hope that if they use him again, and I thank everyone for being here.
Thank you. How many we got now? We were at 1,300. Did our chaos just send them away?
BetterHelp.com.
Very important.
I hope that they use him again. He's just not a character, but like a powerful entity, if you know what I mean. Dude, I get what you mean. Also, he's the most powerful in the MCU right now, even over Celestial. He's kind of become like a Celestial of sorts.
He's kind of got a Living Tribunal meets Watcher vibe because he's like watching over everything, but he's also like controlling the abstractions.
It's just so cool how you watch from like Loki episode 1, how they've just like deconstructed him at his core, and they've just rebuilt him to become like I really feel like they earned the trajectory to God of Stories. You know what I mean?
It's so special, and I want
mean?
Thor to get that in Thor 5. I think like a Robert Eggers Thor 5 that's all mythic.
Oh my God!
Like
yeah,
let Thor retire.
I think ruining the mindset of Robert Eggers by putting him in the MCU.
Oh, trap him in a serious film so he can never come out
Next
again.
thing you know, let Ari Aster direct here.
Ari Aster to do Secret Wars. He's like, I love the Beyonder. I'll make a tracksuit Mark Hamill.
Then let's just ruin more independent
what
directors.
What if Scorsese makes Avengers 7?
Curtis Mason.
Bunch of gangsters running the Avengers.
You got to find like the right fit who knows how to cooperate with producer mandate.
That's true.
Hey guys, just wanted to hop in and say you guys are awesome. Oh, thanks. I wish I could receive these words right now, but
we're just madness.
Someone in the chat. I'm glad we get to talk about movies and TV again. Yeah, me too. I'm really feeling love.
Oh, it's great. It's the best thing.
Coy for Marvel president.
You know what?
Vice president.
They got my number. I want to help shape things.
Don't worry, man.
Truly.
Thank you, Curtis Mason. That really means a lot. Thank you.
Curtis is the best.
Thank you, Curtis. You know what, man, dude? I love you so much. I'd watch you on the toilet. Ronan Teep. Thank you so
That's
much.
Love.
I straight up barely watch Marvel stuff, but y'all are so entertaining. You think this is entertaining?
I'm impressed that he has any idea what we're talking. I love that we're entertaining beyond the stuff that he doesn't watch. Like how do you even contextualize what we're talking about?
Yeah.
We're funny.
Thanks. Are we?
According to him, I'm quoting him.
Pretty sure we're cringe.
I think we've been cringe, and we've passed into the like that
you
weird
do
Family
videos
Guy
every
joke.
day, you're probably start to become cringe.
Yeah, it's true.
Anya made these?
Yeah. Delicious.
I'm hoping that enough people call you racist for not liking the Marvels to the point where you eventually whip out you got a black girlfriend.
I don't think I'll ever
So that way
play that card.
I think you should. I think right now you do it.
No.
That way it looks
That's
like you only started dating her. So you do
in May. The only reason I just delegate our entire relationship to one thing.
Fucking funny.
That's
the clip.
It being a secret, not secret, is what's funny because I post about her all the time and people don't when people call me that I'm like, okay,
that'd be so funny.
It's funny to me because I don't hide anything.
No, that'd be so funny.
Yeah. It's been a fun week.
Anyway, the new Godzilla movie trailer. Well, Coy just hosted the premiere of the Godzilla movie.
Seen the whole thing twice. The new Godzilla is absolutely incredible. I have loved Godzilla since before I can remember, and I adore this new one. It's probably my favorite monster movie. It's definitely my favorite Godzilla movie. The trailer is just a taste. What I love is it balances the emotionality of humanity with the awe of Godzilla better than I've seen any other one do.
You think that?
Truly, so special.
Damn, we're still at over 1,000 viewers.
They like the madness. You were right.
After this craziness that we've been having,
I don't even know my name anymore.
It's just been so triggered. Why does Greg keep touching Coy's scrotum on live stream?
What?
I don't know, man.
I missed that.
People keep trying to cancel me, and they can't do
They're
it.
just trying to find
I'm
a way.
trying to prove that you can't.
Now I'm a little worried my scrotum's numb.
I could do anything. I could touch the co-host scrotum
felt it once.
and get away with this
Apparently,
shit.
I missed. I got nerves missing.
Can't touch this.
My taint is very sensitive.
Coy, Philly G. We're definitely not good. Thank you for the super chats and stream.
Because we're not getting monetized.
We're definitely not getting monetized on this. Fucking Coy said so many certain swear words. I'm like, you son of a bitch. You're so just one word I know for sure gets us demonetized.
The C word?
Yeah, the C word, man.
Oh, I thought
that's why whenever we edit the boys, we can't use
butcher.
Yeah, because like damn it, man.
I know too many Aussies. They rub off on me.
Philly G. Coy, I hope those are Harloff's nuts.
As much as you assume we like Harloff's nuts in our collective mouths, they are made by my lady.
All right, let's do. Okay, this is Streamlabs. I don't know how to turn off the Streamlabs donation.
Oh no.
So, All right, here's what I'm gonna do, guys. Greg is a part of the Brie Larson hate crowd.
After all that
what
praise
are
we
you
gave
talking
her.
about? I have watched I've defended tooth and nail Her interview on Hot Ones. She's done 2. Love them both. She got shit for Between Two Ferns when the whole point is the celebrities are supposed to not like being there as a satire joke. Then people still hated on her as if she has got an attitude problem.
Yeah, when everyone else has the exact same
She was just so good in that.
Yeah.
I think her comedy skills are actually extremely underrated.
She's very funny.
And I liked her a lot in this. I've said it in the review.
No, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't
You're bringing
matter.
up facts again,
I'm on the
Greg.
Brie Larson
What are
hate
you
crowd,
doing?
man. That's
Why
what
are
I'm
you
at.
talking about things that are good?
Coy, don't worry, man. Dude, fucking, I hate
Shenanigans.
I hate all women,
That's true.
including
Especially your wife.
you're a hot
Married
black
to a woman.
girlfriend you got to prove you're not racist. Don't like her.
You know what? This is where we go. Where was Coy Jandreau?
I don't even know her
That's a
name.
good question. That's fine. That's good.
I just call her a Coy.
Wait, hold on. Coy is disrespectful, unprofessional for cursing at me earlier. Be a man and use your words. I used my words. That was your problem.
Say it to
Don't
my
act like a
face.
soft B. Say it to my face. You're gonna
Yo,
disrespect
homie,
me.
you got to be tough and up DM for life. You got to be stronger. Excuse me, I'm choking on an element.
B, use my
Is
words.
put a face to the profile pic. That way, it looks like you have some level of courageousness. The most bottom tier level of courageousness.
Using a fake name and no picture,
Yeah.
and also
Come
telling
on,
me to use
man.
my words
Come
when I
on.
used my words is a very confusing
Come
statement.
on.
Also,
Come on.
I did say it to your face. I just only have a D as your face.
Yeah. Everyone be quiet.
Okay, well, wait, can you get the live stream back? It's not scrolling anymore.
Oh, shit. Oh, you're right. I just thought everyone was like, damn,
Silent.
that's a really good comment. Let's all take it in
Yeah, let's
simultaneously.
breathe in this experience.
Oh, boy.
People really take it personally when they insult you and you insult them back, and it's my favorite thing that people are like homeboy earlier, being like, "I can't believe you don't understand." After 2 hours of typing, DMB for life. Be well, be so well.
We're so behind. I've been scrolling for a very long time.
I'm talking about Godzilla -1.
I'm so sorry, everyone. Hold on a second.
We're getting there, y'all.
Oh, God.
It's happening. Yep.
Okay, we read that.
Here we are.
Okay, we've made it.
Glorious purpose.
What is your workout plan, Greg? Well, it's really simple. Oh, fuck. Well, I'll get to that. Okay. Leave a like
It's
on this video.
that simple.
All haters, leave a like on this video. Jay's point of view. The pilot's called Glorious Purpose. The finale is also called Glorious Purpose, making the entire show an Ouroboros, a well-thought-out connection from the beginning of the show to an end. Hey, that's a thank you. And it's also a really generous super chat, my friend.
I love that they did that, and I also love that science fiction was when the lines of those realities started to blur. The titles of these episodes are pretty genius assessments of the whole thing. It's a really, the writing's top-notch, which is the difference between making something fun and well-written and something fun.
Oh, dude, yeah. I think the writing was great. I love the different direction they did. I think, oh, God, you know, I mean, I don't want it to be recency bias. I want to watch it as a whole.
But yeah, I want to watch both seasons.
Because I'm like, which one do I like more?
Season 1 or Season 2?
Yeah.
They both have that great finale that elevates them above the rest.
I also think in terms of like finale complimentary, I love that Jonathan Majors did something different for He Who Remains. Like he's so like performative in season 1, and then in season 2,
He's
you're
so
like
lean back and
you're
like now I'm
oh,
in
shit,
control.
He must have been like putting up a bit of an act
to get them to do exactly what he wanted. Charles Joshua, much love back to Ireland. Love the Tree of Life as your logo. Yeah, I think that it really established itself on every level, and the names as part of that.
Yo, Jorge Pardita, thank you for the moment of silence. That's all we needed. That helps us go along for the super chat. Appreciate it.
It's the only way.
Do you think Loki holding the branches is the reason the villains in Spider-Man and No Way Home really go back to the universe and branch timelines without causing problems to the multiverse? Somewhere out there, Kevin Feige is reading this.
And so happy.
It is like, yes, that's it. That's it, everyone. Write down what he said.
I like this.
That's it.
Add it to the thing. I told you from the beginning.
That is so much smarter than what we thought. Yeah.
I've told you from the beginning, I think different multiverses have been established. That's why you haven't seen the Celestials mentioned and stuff. I think they've already alluded that we've seen different multiverses, but I do think this allows for things like Sony to fold in more narratively.
Oh, absolutely.
And I
Amen
love
to
this.
that.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
It's now a good time to pee.
Don't leave me alone on this.
It's only going to hold the tether together so long. The chaos of Greg is waiting to crack.
Coy.
I'll do 3 more. No, Pete.
No, go.
Okay, good.
I'll take a shot here. I'll take a shot. All right, guys. It's just going to be you and I interacting. Let's see what everyone... I'll wait for you to continue the super chats in a bit. I'm just going to leave this in place that way I don't fuck it up. All right, everyone. Let's go to the next comment. What's up here? Miguel is losing his shit after what Loki did. Amen to that. No, I don't really think as anyway. Hold on. This comment needs to be shown, everyone. Oh, that person asking what my workout routine is. Yeah, my workout routine is simple. I weightlift 3 times a week. I've also been getting back into some martial arts maneuvers. And I recently got back into running. I've also taken up hiking with a weighted vest. But really the main thing that I've been doing is I've been really working on the caloric deficit diet, which has been so hard. Not as hard. Actually, it's much easier now. Like, what I'll do is I mainly have, like, fucking, like, 2 high-protein chicks a day. I don't eat meat, so it's been really hard. And then usually I have, like, salmon once a day, but a lot of my big meal, my big main meal has been, like, this keto-friendly tortilla with a lot of mozzarella cheese. So it's, like, low-fat, low-carb, high-protein. That's, like, the main jam that I do. But I think tonight I'm going to treat myself to some delicious food. Are you and John together romantically? I've only seen videos in the 2 million. No, not anymore. Richard Fearing, Greg, you see that time for no, I got an hour and a half. I needed to do a little rewatch of some stuff because I need to get it all fresh in my mind. And I want to thank everyone who watched the Loki finale reaction. Many of you guys don't know this. For some reason, we just kept getting blocked. That I started that edit at like 7:40 p.m. Didn't get it up to like 4 a.m. And I was talking with other reactors. A lot of them were like, yeah, we use like 8 to 10 seconds at a time. And I was like, I'm at 5 seconds at a time right now, and we're still blocked. And then I was just doing all kinds of tricks. There are times I was like, I was showing people like, here's how much I'm cropping it in. It was like most of the image is not
gone.
In frame. And I'm really cropping it in using 5 seconds at a time. I'm running a denoiser on this. I don't know why we keep getting blocked.
Yep.
It just would not stop.
7 hours of editing to get that up.
And then I had people messaging me. It was like 7 hours of editing, and people call me lazy all the time. I fucking love it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'm trying to get this up, man. All I'm trying to do is get this up. I don't even care if it's monetized at this point. It's just not even public, you know.
I honestly can say that, one, I came back to talk of John and Greg romance, and he had just been touching my scrotum, according to you. So that's inappropriate. 2, Greg, I know so many actors that work like 18-hour days. I know so many producers and folks that like endure the entertainment industry's long hours. I don't know a single person that works as hard as Greg. So I know that I usually don't attack people that aren't attacking me.
I know Dwayne Johnson. He works slightly harder.
Slightly, yeah. He did affect the entire cod population just by eating them all. Okay.
Slightly.
I mean, I've only hugged Rock. I don't know him.
Most people just watch our video and go, all he does is
just talk.
Sit there, Brittany.
Yeah, that's it. That's all. This is all we do.
He just opens his mouth and then...
he just is here to attacking 17-year-olds. Oh! He's just in here for the 17-year-old hate.
All right. Look, guys, I appreciate all the super chats. Mm-hmm. What time is it?
I'm trying to see the killer today.
Oh, so I guess we're not going to...
That's why I asked you.
All right. You got 2 minutes for the last of the super chats. If anyone wants to get one in, thanks so much for them. And we're going to stop allowing them to come in, and we're going to have to read off the rest and try not to get distracted by the chat as vehemently as we are. But we also want to take it in so that way no one's ignored.
Yep.
Because we care about everyone.
They showed the Japanese cut of Godzilla -1. I had translators, which was fun.
Artemis Hall, to talk about something positive for the Marvels, I really liked the way the fights were shot in the movie, especially the 3 versus 1. I was just crediting that. Yeah. I was like, that was actually a really well-constructed fight. I even said in our review where I was like, there's some really good fight moments in there. And I think that particular one was really well done. That first one when they're first switching.
Yep.
Really, really enjoyed that
Even the
one a lot.
3v1 against the villain with the hammer at the end, like that worked for me until they undermined a bit by the way it landed.
I think by that point, I was personally having a hard time separating myself from the fact that I hadn't been enjoying the movie up to that point to just appreciate the fight.
Yeah.
But I wasn't there emotionally yet until I wasn't there emotionally yet with that first fight, so I was really able to take that in.
Yeah, I get that.
And I really thought that first one was really well done.
And I love that it was so practical. Also, Charles Joshua, I actually want to get buried in the.
Oh, do you hear that? Coy's gonna get married to his hot black girlfriend.
Yeah,
Get that
so conflicted
not
by this.
racist profile.
So conflicted by this
ID
narrative.
card for life.
I feel like it's just
It's gonna
there's
say
a
organ
no-win
donor
scenario.
and not racist.
I haven't been
show her these clips back.
embarrassed yet, and now this is actual little bit of blush. This is me squirmy.
Yeah.
Don't know how to react to any of this. Anyway, the tree of life means a lot to me, and I talked about I do want to be buried under a tree because of how much the tree of life means to me. But the yew tree in Ireland at the Abbey outside of the Rings of Kerry
So pretentious.
is such a stunning tree that it actually changed that I want to be buried under specifically a yew tree.
Definitely.
And then researching Celtic mythology, I found out that it is their tree of life, our tree of life, and that the Celtic warriors used to shave the bark and put it on their arrows, and it actually poisons people. But modern science has made it so it actually slows cancer cells. So the tree of life itself in our Celtic glory is the causer of a cause of life and death. So I want to be buried in it because its limbs fall to the side and like make a spiral around itself. So it's immortal in itself almost. You can't date them the same way. So I want to be buried under that very tree that you have as your profile picture.
To answer a question in the chat, I do not only think Monica Rambeau has a good butt, but she has a beautiful face as well.
She's also a sweetheart.
By
She
Disney
was at
fan.
when I had to leave early, she was at the event I was at. Tiana Paris is a delight.
Dude, I feel great about being a dad. I care less about the kid, but I like the way it makes me look on social media.
Yeah, that's kind of how he's espousing my relationship is more of a publicity stunt.
Oh, yeah. But,
Greg having a baby is just for the gram.
Oh, yeah, you take the photos.
Oh, and then you leave that kid aside. That's also how you get Disney to stop blocking her videos because you're like, I've got a kid.
Good guy.
Look, I've got a baby, Disney. I'm your future market. So
we
please stop blocking
Stay
things.
on track. Only I can
There's
take
a
things
track?
off. Marley Morgan, I've seen people talking about the possibility of Marvel shifting away from Kang toward Doom. Does this mean Kang Dynasty is at risk of being dropped, or we still at least get Kang for that?
I think that will depend on real-life situations.
What in God's name are you talking about?
Science. No, I think we're in a really...
Science?
I think we're in a really...
What does science have to do
we're
with
in
it?
a really tricky spot, and I honestly don't know enough about the case because the only things I can find out about it feel like they're very skewed in one direction or the other.
All I know is Jonathan Majors did a great job, so he's innocent.
Yeah, because acting is reality. I hope he's innocent. I hope
he's innocent for the sake of, him, and also that something terrible didn't happen.
That's what I'm saying.
Someone.
I'm hoping that something didn't happen so publicly to someone so awful, and that lives aren't ruined more than they already are.
It's beyond just like
fiction.
I hope this actor whose acting skills I like means.
I also hope someone isn't a bad person. Like I'm just hoping that.
I hope a terrible thing did not take place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not gonna get clicks.
Completely. Oh yeah.
We're not gonna buy a house off of our Johnny Depp coverage.
I mean, it depends. Like, what's the conversation now?
I mean, it depends. We got to follow. We got to go against it. We're contrarians now.
Do we hate this potential victim?
We hate everyone.
What are we at?
Tell us in the chat.
What is the popular opinion?
And we got to go against it. We're ready. I was on track. I was 3 in line.
Yeah, me too.
And we lost it.
Okay, no, don't worry, Cole. I'm
We're
gonna get us back on track.
Where's the live chat? I'll play with this.
Okay,
First order of business: teach baby to edit. So you don't have to.
Teach baby to edit. Yeah, dude. Trust me.
Please, that'd be amazing. Let's see. Aflatoon Ling, Jonathan Majors did good. He deserves congratulations. As an actor, he did.
Thank you to everyone who contributed to the super chats. I had to turn them off to make sure we ended it on time. But, if you want to contribute stickers, that's very appreciated. If not, don't worry. We got you here. We got you here. Whatever that means, we got you here.
We got you here.
We got you here.
You came here. We got you to come here. Thank you.
Oh, God, I'm going to...
Chats, I can't even... Coy could be Chris Pratt's brother. I actually played Chris Pratt's brother in a movie called Bride Wars. I was his little brother and when he got married to Anne Hathaway in a movie, I played his best man and little brother.
Yeah, you know so many famous people.
He just specifically said a casting thing.
Alonzo Pete.
Yeah. There's no coming back.
Coy, can you read the super chat while I fix the live chat?
Loki sees the pillars of Thor and the other Asgardians at the World's Fair, with Mobius saying he always forgets he's also a god. Only Loki for becoming the pillar of the multiverse, glorious purpose. I had not thought of the pillar element. That is amazing, and I believe those were they wood carvings, making it a tree-esque? That is very clever. I like that a lot. He was jealous of their statues. Now he is the pillar that holds up everything. Great call, Alonzo P. That is so clever. I appreciate you pointing that out. I didn't pick that nuance up. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Zachary Sarvos, Coy, we cannot afford to bring you to Ireland, but we can bury you outside the Abbey in WeHo. This suffice. The Abbey's a delight. I hope I'm not dying anytime soon, and I appreciate the burial rites.
Hello, Angie. I'm glad you had fun with Miss Marvel. Miss Marvels?
Mm-hmm.
The Marvels. I'm glad you had fun, Angie. That's what counts. You had fun.
Very important.
Touching the scrotum. Dan V900.
Right there.
That Loki finale with things over and over reminded me of Edge of Tomorrow. Or like Groundhog Day or any of those time loop movies. It was a time loop story.
DMV wants to fly in from Dakota to fight me, and he's 36.
When he thinks he succeeds with Timely like Cruz, thinking he got to the alpha, but then it fails. Great finale.
Fun fact, the original cut of Edge of Tomorrow was about 3 hours, and the original third act was kind of like Aliens, where there were a bunch of different mercenary cuts where they had a lot more going on, where it felt like there was a full set piece. And that is actually how I thought the TVA stuff was going to end up. I thought they were going to use the TVA agents, kind of like Edge of Tomorrow. I do agree there's a lot of that, and I really loved how the editing, actually John brought it up, the editing being so frenetic, and then it slowed down so you felt that atmosphere more. And I really loved the Edge of Tomorrow editing as this editing. They both had their purpose for the story, which I dug.
Oh, man, people are asking about the Madam Web, which I'm excited for it, but then I heard it was female-led, and I was like, oh,
but
man.
how many women is it? And who's Mr. Webb? If you can change characters' sexes the other way, you can change them to Webb. More men. Mr. Webb. It sounds great. Bring me Mr. Webb and his amazing friends.
Leo Vlogs, do you think Loki will return? If so, how? This has been the top question. Coy, answer it in 15 seconds.
The only way I think Loki should return is in Secret Wars as some sort of all-powerful entity that maybe Thor needs to come to. I think Thor and Loki is the only resolution we haven't really had because Thor has matured and Loki has matured in a different way, but they did them on different timelines. A different Loki has matured, so I'd love to see the father Loki forgive Thor. So the father Thor forgive Loki, because I feel like that's the only closure Loki didn't get. So I would like to see maybe the Avengers fall and Thor need to get something from the man who wields time itself, which in this case be his brother, allowing for that closure. And I think that Thor should actually die in Secret Wars, because that would, in Norse mythology, close Ragnarok, and that would allow the universe to reset, which would allow for a universe reset to allow new Avengers to play those characters instead of recasting. Through the Secret Wars element, you could actually recast through Secret Wars and Ragnarok, tying in all that mythology together.
Hold on, Coy. You just lost a follower.
No! A whole follower! I disrespected him, bitch. I do look like Jesse Pinkman now, so I need to say it like bitch.
I might need to change the title of this video if we don't figure out a way
We
to
need a
talk
new
about
chapter. Hold on. Chapter 8, DMV unsubscribed from me from Twitter.
We need to figure out how to talk about Blade, because I put that in the title.
Oh, we do. Okay. That's actually chapter
Blade,
9.
X-Men, and Deadpool 3.
Oh, shit. We have so much to talk about.
We kind of talked about Deadpool 3.
I feel like DMV unsubscribing is way more important, Greg.
No. Jaden Stevens, hey, oh my God, here it is. Here it is. We found a section to talk about it.
The thing in the video title.
What time are we at on the stream?
Put it in the chat.
I could just make sure.
2:19.
No, it's a little bit behind.
What does it mean?
Where's the actual time?
Where are we? Who are we?
2:25.
2:25.
2:25.
Okay.
2:25. We are going to use your super chat.
That is a big chapter jump.
To talk about, man.
Chapter 10? Okay.
No,
yep.
I mean,
it's great.
no, I'll have to figure this out
there's
later.
got to be some more. You should write what 2:25 means. You're going to forget.
No, I'll remember.
All right.
Jaden Stevens, hey, Coy and Greg. Love the channel. The ending of Loki was so beautiful and impactful. Curious as to what you guys are looking forward to next in the MCU. Well, let me tell you what I'm looking forward to next. Deadpool 3. Why? Because we only touched on it. What do you like? The Marvels and Loki both are setting up Deadpool 3 in a lot of ways.
Huge.
Because it's just like, as we've touched on throughout the stream, to showcase. So we have definitely talked about X-Men. throughout the stream is that they're bringing in Fox Universe characters. And as we know, with Deadpool 3, Fox Universe characters are coming in. And it seems like they're going to pull from the Days of Future Past universe specifically. Coy, I mean, what are you thinking? And please also mention, what else is in that title? Blade, too, and how it's R-rated.
I can actually tie those together for the video.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think the next thing to look forward to is obviously the next thing that's coming out, but in this case, it's my most anticipated movie, period. I think Deadpool 3 is going to be everything we wanted the Multiverse of Madness to be, but it's also going to finally make a lot of this disparate world more succinct. So I personally think there's going to be a beautiful way to end the Fox universe with closure. It's going to be a bittersweet movie because I think a lot of people forget, and I've said this before, that Deadpool 1 is very somber in a lot of ways. So I think we'll get closure ending the Fox universe, but some of that will trickle on into Secret Wars, so we get things like Hugh Jackman and all those elements. But I think what Deadpool 3 is going to allow is, one, him to break the fourth wall, allowing his movies to be R-rated because he's going to be folded over into a new universe. But two, when it makes a ton of money as the only Marvel movie next year, it's going to allow Blade to have a little bit of cushion because Blade's the next R-rated film. We heard rumor from a very credible source that it is a $100 million budget. I think that is a very good thing for a movie that's had this rough of a trajectory. I think Blade needs to be as important as the X-Men because much like the X-Men, it helped start this modern wave of superhero film. 1998 was only 2 years before X-Men. I think Blade is really the secret sauce to what got Marvel to where it is today. So I think Blade needs that reverence, and I think Blade would allow for Midnight Suns. It would allow for R-rated things like Deadpool, TVMA. I think Echo being TVMA is going to lead to Daredevil being TVMA. It's going to lead to Blade being rated R to have more allowance. I think this restructuring that's happening right now, causing all these things to shift, is because they realize we've matured in age. So Deadpool 3, R-rated, when that does well, because it will do well, because it's going to be all the cameos you want, but also with the heart of Deadpool, along with the comedy of obviously Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman and a buddy cop thing, is going to lead into more R-rated content, which is going to allow more variety in the Marvel Universe, which we need, and then also bring in the through line so everything feels connected again, solving damn near all of Marvel's problems with Deadpool 3.
I was replying to everyone while you were talking.
I figured. I was trying to, and then we got a little too You're Wolverine, I'm Deadpool, handling it.
On the playback, you hope you have the live chat working so you can see.
Hey, we did it. Hope
Oh,
that
wait, no,
helps.
wait, what am I talking about? I have it on screen so you can
You
see
see
me
it all.
doing
It's right there. Did it.
Grand Raconteur. Do you think we'll see Loki as Avenger Prime? Coy, you talked about this earlier. Coy, can you talk about how Loki Avenger Prime might potentially tie into the Fantastic Four?
I think they're going to do this interesting thing I keep hearing about with Fantastic Four, where they're going to have it on a separate timeline first and then fold it in. And I think the way to do that is we've already seen through Monica Rambeau going literally through space-time, meeting Beast, that there are universes just beyond the realm. So the end of Loki shows all those universes, which is why I think Kang is still involved in manipulating because he wants to control more of time. But I think that basically him wielding that is going to allow more universes to collide with ours, causing an incursion, causing Secret Wars, causing them to reboot the universe. But I think in folding them, we're going to get an already established Fantastic Four, not an origin in a world that Fantastic Four are heroes. Personally, I'd rather it be a time setting than a place setting. I think it'd be kind of weird if they were like, I hope the universe is very similar to ours. So like a 60s set Fantastic Four would be a lot of fun, but folding that universe into ours, you don't have to do the traditional origin thing. So I think the primes are going to be introduced in Deadpool, and I think Loki Prime is already the concept we've established. So Deadpool 3 having primes and then bringing in multiple universes, making Fantastic Four a different way to fold in a team without having to do a full origin movie.
Oh, my God.
Any other things we need to hit from the title?
No, I mean, don't worry. I'll figure it out.
Okay,
Okay.
anything you need. Assignments, I'm ready.
The Trib one, does an extra 30 minutes runtime fix the Marvel's issues? No idea, man. It's just kind of theoretical at that point. I think it would have helped for sure. I think it would have helped for sure if it did. And
there's a lot of emotional weight we wanted that could be solved in that, but if it's more fluff, it wouldn't work. Deep Next Generation, Captain America comes out the following year. It just got delayed.
Yeah,
They're
I appreciate the
reshooting
super
6
chat.
months.
Hey, Coy, please.
Focus.
Let me see this. Thank you, McNullight. I can totally understand what Coy meant by this isn't what Marvel needs right now, mainly for the editing issues. However, I don't feel the movie is so off that I deem it bad. Fleshing out the emotional moments definitely would helped, and there's some misplaced comedy, but all in all, I think it was a fun film that very much felt like a comic book. At the end of the day, it's all subjective. Just glad it wasn't worse than Love and Thunder. That's subjective. It might be worse than Love and Thunder to some people. Coy, I really liked your comment a lot here because I feel like this is a really healthy way to disagree. and I think this is a really healthy way to engage. And this is kind of more of the conversation I would like to encourage. And just kind of thinking about it, I think a lot of people associate humor with Fantastic Four, Coy.
Yeah.
So with McNolight's comment here. And then just kind of seeing the way how we've had stuff like Thor: Love and Thunder in recent times, and what are you hoping the execution will be for Fantastic Four? And speaking of Fantastic Four, these rumors of Jake Gyllenhaal being cast as Reed Richards, and that we might get the casting announcement next week. What do you think?
First of all, thank you for the 2 big super chats. Very appreciated. Also, and more importantly, thank you for disagreeing kindly, because it's an opinion, and I appreciate that. But I think the tone of Marvel's Fantastic Four needs to be a little different than the original Fox Fantastic Four, who I think we're going to see again.
Man.
I think it's going to be Marvel's first family for a reason. I think it's going to be, as much as we're getting more mature stuff like Blade and Deadpool, we don't need an R-rated Fantastic Four. I think it's going to be blissfully wholesome. I also think you can have some kind of like fish out of water elements with them being from another universe. I think it's going to be really interesting to see a not angry leading male, but there's a bitterness to Reed Richards, and I think people assume if you're a hero, there's a kindness, and I don't know if that totally worked with Doctor Strange. It definitely worked with Tony Stark, so I'm curious what kind of flavor they're going to get for a more embittered. He's just too smart. He's distracted by simpler things, so I'm curious what kind of headiness. So I've always liked Joseph Gordon-Levitt or Adam Driver type. They both have this thing where it's like, I got stuff to do. So I think we're going to get a very beautiful family dynamic where we actually get a team that is family, so I think it's going to be a very family-centric story, meaning it doesn't need to be edgy or dark. I think Doom is going to be a very dark element in it, and that'll be a good juxtaposition of the lightness of the Fantastic Family, especially with like Johnny Storm being like a movie star kind of vibe, and Reed being a little like, stop, I'm trying to do science, and Sue being like effectively the leader of the team. She's always the driving force, and then Thing being kind of a broken, Jekyll and Hyde, not Jekyll and Hyde, like Beast, like Beauty and the Beast, kind of feeling like a monster, but a heart of gold. I think that'll be beautiful with the darkness of Doom. So I think it's going to be a family movie, which we haven't really had. Something like in The Incredibles, which is obviously based off Fantastic Four. Man,
don't worry, man.
Doing it.
Dan V900.
Also, Jake Gyllenhaal. I think Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, yeah, please.
If Jake Gyllenhaal was cast before he was Mysterio, perfect choice. Jake Gyllenhaal is a very talented actor, and he also has that, like, thing where it feels like he's a lot smarter than other people, and sometimes it seems like he's put off by them. I always, like, Jake Gyllenhaal is one of my favorite interviews because I could tell in the beginning of our conversation he was giving me sound bites because he knew that's what would work for a big movie. And then we talked in between 2 setups, and I talked about like my life, and then he talked about his, and then we were like different people to each other. And then he actually gave me interview answers, but I could tell how sick he was of press until I actually talked to him like a person, because we didn't have time before the interview. And it was like a different human, and I see that bit of like, I'm just not interested in doing press anymore in Reed Richards. So I think he would have been perfect. I think that a lot of people don't like get his sarcasm. There was an interview for that new animated movie where someone's like, Dennis Quaid, he played your dad in that movie, and he like very sarcastically was like, oh my God, and he clearly remembered, but the internet doesn't understand sarcasm. That's Reed Richards to me. But with him as Mysterio in the MCU, because they obviously have him referencing Tony Stark, it does get very convoluted, even with variants. I think it would throw a lot of people off. I think he'd be a great casting as far as like his acting ability and his type, but I don't think it would work in a universe where he's already established.
That's a great point, dude.
I
totally got
He was listening.
every word you said.
Totally listening.
Dan V900, back at it. As far as Young Avengers being recruited, I'm still shocked that wasn't an announced film for the phase, especially when Ireland, who had Buy More as a recruiter with Kang. If you know, you know. Hey, Coy, do you think that that Victor Timely, with getting the TV handbook, might become Iron Lad?
I think Iron Lad is a possibility. I don't know if it'll be that variant of him because he is stuck in a very different time. Obviously, he can travel later. But I do think Iron Lad is going to be a fun reveal for the Young Avengers. I do think they're still going to play with that. I don't know if we're going to get a Young Avengers movie. I think that's why they held off. I think it will be a show with that many characters, and I think people are going show bad, movie good still, especially with the quality influx. So I think they're holding off on announcing it so far.
Dude, Christian Unpronounceable, you've been here since like the beginning of this stream.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Who's been here since the beginning?
Respect, because we've been going almost 3 hours.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, dude, I totally get it. Joe O'Keefe, loved your Irish accent last week, guys. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, top of the morning to you, laddie. Oi. Whilst I normally do not approve of people putting on accents in jest, I don't mind the Irish one. As the other great Irish American, Conan O'Brien says the Irish can still be made fun of. You know, speaking of people being made fun of, some people make fun of the Marvels, but you know what I don't want to make fun of? How did Kamala use her powers without the bangles?
I have no.
Oh, you son of a bitch! I'm shutting you up.
No, I wanted to know. It was a thing. That
Don't you think there's something with the mutant gene and the fact that we got the X-Men set up? Come on.
Yeah, but they should have they should have made that like they should have said that was why.
Make it up, Coy.
I mean, obviously it was a mutant
All
gene
these
which ties
people
into
do
the
it.
X-Men, and therefore it's an early canon to tying to Xavier, which is why the first appearance of Kamala was when Xavier's mentioned first, because she's obviously going to get recruited. Please explain this ending. Also, the Irish thing, I do think it's funny. I think Irish people just have a sense of humor about themselves. I think,
Do you now?
I do, laddie.
With
I
your
think-
potatoes in your...
I think the fact that people are very, very understandably sensitive about their race being made fun of, I think it's funny we still call it like paddy wagon because like Irish people get arrested a lot, or like Lucky Charms is a cereal because that's like, you know,
That's Irish invented.
Well, it's,
You guys invented,
we
the
invented
Lucky Charm.
crime.
You invented crime and poverty. Alexander Bavaria. Do you guys think we will see this Loki again during the centuries he spent learning about physics and science? Did he only learn from OB or other brilliant scientists like Fastos, Kang variant, etc.? Oh, that is very interesting. Maybe he did learn from like other going beyond just Kang.
Oh, that'd be cool.
If he did like interact with you. There should be like a scientist Avengers team.
just hanging out doing
Like an
something. Most of them are
Illuminati of
scientists.
sorts.
Oh, yeah, something like that.
Right? How cool would that be?
I would love to see that. I think also Kang traveling through time, meeting other characters would be a great add of cameos that wouldn't feel like it was just self-serving. So I think that if, you know, we do have the Kang Dynasty, that is how we'll get new characters introduced as well as getting rid of some.
Do you think when Loki was time traveling with the time slipping, he bumped into
Everyone.
he bumped into Captain America returning the Infinity Stones?
They're just out there just wandering through time.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, he's like, I'm not bad anymore. I went through a whole thing.
Oh, Galaxy Geeks, you've been so nice
Galaxy
to us.
Geeks.
I don't know. That's a great question.
That is a
man.
very
That's
good
a really
question.
great question.
But
But
Villain
the
Room,
Galaxy Geeks have been really sweet. Go subscribe to Galaxy Geeks, please. Jay saying, Coy, post a Legal Eagle reaction video.
Do people react to reaction videos?
I mean, sometimes they do, and I feel like you got to be really specific if you're going to react to a Legal Eagle
Yeah, it
reaction
feels like I'll
video.
get some legal issues there.
You know what I would like to react to, Coy? This news about Captain America 4 being delayed and
what a reaction.
having to wait for like a year. Like, you know?
You know what I
like,
would have gone with? Eagle, Captain America, Falcon. I would have gone that.
just fucking do
I would
the
have gone.
thing,
You know what's
Coy.
right. So Captain America 4 has been delayed because it is getting an additional 6 months of reshoots, which is about the
Terrible.
amount of time that Endgame was shot.
Because it's terrible because we ride the MCU hate train.
Yeah, we're assuming it's going to be bad
Mhm.
because you don't get to carry a legacy character on into a new character like Miles Morales because it didn't
I
work
say-
with his number one selling game in comic books that sell more than Peter
Say
Parker's a
rush
lot.
it out. Just
And
rush
by
it
the
out.
way, Captain America 4
CGI will fix
going to
it.
be very tricky because I don't know if like Harrison Ford's schedule is that wide open. 6 months seems like a lot, but
I
I
know, he's
do.
got the hospice care. He's got to
Yeah,
tell
that's true.
too.
He's got to
you know.
fly a lot of planes. Somewhat,
Yeah,
you
to
know,
his
we'll see.
hospice care.
To it right then land. I need help. I shouldn't be flying this Millennium Falcon. I think that Captain America 4.
The mouse dead.
I would rather it be delayed now than have it come out and be another movie that doesn't feel good. We don't have that much goodwill left in people that love the MCU. I will not ever forget the amount of movies the MCU has given us.
Right.
Like, there's a lot of positivity in my heart, but the narrative is so negative. I don't think they want to put out anything that doesn't feel like their highest caliber of work. So I say delay as much as you need to. You can only release it the first time. 6 months of reshoots, I think, is a good thing and a blessing.
Deadshot back at it, talking about Dar-Ben in my last Super. Well, thank you for talking about Dar-Ben. You know what, guys? I've changed my mind. She's a fantastic villain, probably my favorite in the entire MCU.
Oh, is he still on, like, you shouldn't change people's sex in comics? Because that was the same.
Yeah, wasn't Dar-Ben a
Dar-Ben.
male?
I never cared about Dar-Ben enough to know. Maybe.
Dude, no, Dar-Ben.
Male.
I cared so
Iconic
much.
male.
I definitely knew who Dar-Ben was
Especially after watching that movie, I cared
prior
about
to
Dar-Ben.
this movie.
That taught
I
me
was
to
like,
care. The whole
you
time I
better
was thinking,
get Dar-Ben right.
you know what would make this movie better? That character being a guy.
I think-
changed everything.
I think taking the essentially Ronan the Accuser.
Yeah. Making
with
another
some
one.
slight changes.
What if there's another male Ronan the Accuser?
Yeah, no,
Fixed.
I think that was. I think they did a great
I think
job.
Scorsese would finally forgive Marvel if it was a male.
Coy, we're being critical. Movie was fun. Jack
So fun.
McHugh. Do you think there will be another shit show, or do you Echo will be another shit show? Or do you think it has a chance to thrive? Oh my God, like Coy, I can actually contribute to this.
I'm gonna eat a little bit.
I think that I think Echo totally has. Of course, it has a shot, man. Why wouldn't you at least give it a shot? There might be a well-justified reason that it's all being dumped like a big Marvel shit on Disney Plus in January, because maybe that's the preferred way to watch. Or maybe there's a lack of it. I don't know. I think
Trailer looked good.
I think the trailer was awesome, and sure, sometimes we can get a great trailer and a shit movie or show.
Very easy to cut 3 minutes of good.
However, like you do have the presence of the Kingpin that does seem like it's carrying over. I think there's a lot of cool auditory visual language that you can do with going in and out of her perspective via the fact that she is deaf. So I think there's some really cool things that you could actually really do there. The violence looks like it could be. I feel like regardless, there's going to be some really rewarding elements, even if not everything fires on all cylinders. What those things that won't fire on all cylinders will be, I don't know. But at this moment in time, I will say that I've immensely started looking forward to this show.
Yeah.
And I just hope it's not a drag.
Yeah. I really hope it's good. I think it'll be like Sound of Metal meets like Daredevil if it's done right.
Sure.
But and also David Mack created the character, and he did the opening and closing credits to Jessica Jones. So
Coy knows things.
I'm hoping that visual is an element, but most of all, I'm excited for a day of like I changed my Christmas schedule so we can do all that January 10th. Like I'm literally I'm moving my schedule because the trailer was that good. Because I usually do Christmas in January.
I already hired other people to be there.
I'm not on the channel anymore in 2024.
I felt Roxy and Tara would be a better fit.
Experts.
Marley Morgan. Thank you, Marley. If Tim Hiddleston's done, think they'll bring back Kid Loki?
I think they should bring Tom in.
That's funny because you're making fun of his typo.
I think Kid Loki could be a Young Avenger. I think it would be a fun variant that obviously wouldn't feel like it's as disparaging to, like, okay, that's clearly not Tom Hiddleston or someone like. I don't want to see a variant of I don't want to undermine episode 6. This would be fun. I don't know if it's likely, though.
You know what I just realized for some random reason? Don't ask me how the web of my brain works.
No one should.
When Loki is, before he decides to go out to of the TVA, oh my God, I'm forgetting all the words of the stream and all that.
It's been hours.
When he's saying, like, I know what kind of God I want to be or whatever, you know that moment?
Yeah.
He's directing these words, and he says, like, for you.
Yeah.
He's directing these words to Sylvie.
Yeah.
Which is also, like, directing words
to himself
at
which
the
is
same
some
time.
actualizing.
Yeah, I don't know how I got there in my mind.
No, I'm like, from Kid Loki?
My mind went to before they brought back Kid Loki, and everyone's excited, and then Kid Loki was a woman, and then everyone got up in arms, and then I'd be like, but come on, there's like a bunch of Loki variants, and then my mind went to that moment with a variant.
That is a leap. That is a series of leaps. Should we check in the live chat? I know you're going to scroll, but if you want
No,
to.
Coy, look, we got a TWD contribution here.
Okay.
Tatsuya. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Let me get the live chat now. Hold on a second. Is it still going? That's what I'm talking about.
Anatomy, Drugs, and Tyler Swift. I don't know what it was, but
Tats, please. I don't mean to yell at you.
Just the
when the
Greg
cameras
arm
are rolling.
definition is so good. Look at Greg.
Look at the bulk on you.
Look at the Greg definition. He's got.
I mean, he was talking about Sylvie and Mobius, but for the sake of my argument, I'm going to say he was talking to Sylvie.
Yeah, because it feels like it connects more to that plot. I don't know where TW3 is from. TWD, but it's cool.
The Walking Dead.
Is it Taiwan dollar?
No, it's the Walking Dead money. That is money used for the apocalypse.
It is money from the cast of The Walking Dead.
Yeah. Do you think Kang and
Norman
Loki
Reedus is dollars?
might appear as Iron Lad and Kid Loki as now Young Avengers is finally being formed? Damn, we just got that question back to back. That's fascinating.
Taiwanese dollars. Yeah, that is so funny.
I think they should get Jonathan Majors to play Iron Lad.
Dude, there's a kid in Haunted Mansion that looks just like young Jonathan Majors. And he has that same, like, eye of this eloquence and, like, beautiful speech pattern. I think that kid from Haunted Mansion should play him.
Richard, we don't start flexing until the end of the stream.
Yeah, that's true.
End of stream.
Oh, I wasn't flexing.
End of stream. Ours are so big. Deadshot.
It's my therapy.
Okay, everyone.
'cause I'm not well.
Everyone let him clarify.
Okay.
Clarify. Galaxy, just Twitter me. Let me clarify. Darben is gender swap, but she was still written bad, but good actress. I totally forgot Darben was gender swap. That's kind of crazy.
I did not know.
For as huge of a fan as I am of Darben in the comics and how I really care for Darben to be brought to life accurately, hence my vehement outrage towards the portrayal.
I gotta take down my Darben poster now.
Tilden Swinton as H1, it's a good gender swap. I don't feel like their gender had anything to do with it. Like they don't even play for anyone who gets up in arms about this movie of like
they don't even do the
agendas.
girl power thing.
I don't really feel like there's anything about like Barbie is significantly more about that than this.
Yeah. And this didn't have a single like
we're
we're doing it because we're girls.
Yeah, man. I don't feel like it did any of that. Other than the fact there's women on screen. I don't feel like it did any of that. That's right. I'm placating.
It's pretty woke
I'm
to put a
pandering.
woman on screen, Greg.
Yeah, it's true.
That means they had to pay them dollars.
When I saw Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill,
Yeah.
I was like, what is he
Ooh.
doing?
In Charlie's Angels, I hear they put 3 of them on camera.
I know, but then it helped to have Bill Murray.
Oh,
But
right.
then
You
it
bounce it
went
out. And then it
woke
went, ooh,
with-
they recast.
with Brave.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, it's woke.
Well, because Lucy Liu, obviously,
true.
white woman.
Alistair McDonald. So glad you guys are back doing live streams again. Oh, man, have people been kind.
Yep, we are too. Second one back has been a fucking laugh riot.
I watched the Marvels last night and had a lot of issues with the film, but the Khan family were really cons. Cons were really good. It's really hard to the film. Much love from Scotland.
I like that he saved it for the end so you didn't do a Scottish accent.
You son of a bitch.
We should have known from the awesome name, though.
Alistair McDonald. Hey.
Aye.
I'm Gerard Butler. I am a law-abiding citizen in the United States of America.
Tell me, Greg, how do you train your dragon?
There's a geostorm.
I need men, roughly 300 of them.
Journal P. Oh my God, we wouldn't have forced it in here.
This is like our
just would have fucking waited.
this is our Equalizer commentary.
AG King, that's nice. Blade thoughts. Journal P. Blade thoughts. Okay, well, we talked about the Blade R rating.
We did.
Good job.
Yeah, it's in there. Do you want me to talk more about Blade?
Well, I what I'm worried about is Blade. Is that Mahershala Ali's going to quit? I'm really worried about that.
I think that's next.
You think that's next?
I
That
think,
is terrible PR for MCU at that point.
I think that's why they're holding it.
And they're going to be like, Marvel's dead before the next great thing
I
comes
think
out.
they're asking Mahershala to not say it until they have someone else.
It's my worst fear.
I hope I'm not. I hope I'm wrong. I really, really do.
I hope I'm
I
wrong,
love
too.
Mahershala Ali, but
Dude, he's great.
He's so talented.
If
and
he does exactly his performance from Green Book in Blade,
man, he's gonna get
Man.
another Oscar. There it is.
this is. I was
It
watching
might get
Green Book. I was
Best
like,
Picture.
this is Blade.
They're gonna call it Blade Book. It's gonna do great. The Darkhold, Blade Book.
Someone should recut footage from Green Book and make it look like it's
Hunting
Blade.
vampires. The guy from Green Book. No, Mahershala is so good. He's so
No,
good.
I'm just totally joking. He was
Yeah,
perfect.
obviously. But I do worry that I do worry about it. It's been a long time.
Todd, don't you fucking leave.
Todd is gonna watch me on other channels, but I'm not live there, or am I?
Christian, please don't go. You've
Don't
been
go.
great.
Don't go.
You've been great.
3 hours, Christian. That's nothing.
So how much time?
How many more we got?
Okay, Coy, we gotta be.
Oh
we
my
gotta have a fishing pod.
God.
What were you gonna say about? What were you gonna say before I interrupt you with my hilarious joke?
Which was it about? Jessica Clemens is hilarious. What?
Yeah, of course you.
Oh, Blade. I do think that Blade getting a rewrite and getting a smaller budget is going to be good, but I also think there's a current Blade comic out right now. Usually they line up the comics to kind of be tonally what the movies are going to be, and this is when Blade was supposed to come out, so I think this comic was written for the intention of new Blade watchers to go to the comic, and the comic is exceptional, and the tone they gathered is very interestingly magic meets science, which we know was also their goal for Ironheart. So, one, I think that's going to be great for Ghost Rider, Midnight Suns, those things, but you should also check out the Blade comic that is on issue like 3 or 4 that's out right now, and to give you that taste, also a good comic in general.
Yeah. Lola Monroy. Give Tom Hiddleston an Emmy. Give Todd Hiddleston an Emmy. Give Tom Hiddleston an Emmy. I thought he was excellent in the show. I don't feel. I'm not saying he's not worthy.
No.
I feel like if there's anything these shows are notorious for is completely. Let's face it, Charlie Cox and
My God.
Charlie Cox and fucking
Vincent
D'Onofrio,
D'Onofrio?
absolutely. I would throw Kristen Ritter in there, Jessica Jones.
Yeah?
Kilgrave,
Mhm.
absolutely. I think these performances, fucking Danny Rand.
Oh yeah, no, Danny Rand,
John Bernthal,
dude. Actually,
yeah, like they absolutely deserved Emmy nominations, and for some reason, fuck that shit.
yeah,
No.
the show's so good,
Oh
and
my
like the
God,
ratings
yeah,
were
that
great.
was bullshit.
The Blade comic's called Blade, but look for the one that's from 2023.
I think Natalie Holt's music score absolutely deserves.
Oh my gosh,
that's
so good.
that score deserves way more recognition.
I was the first time we've done how many reactions, we've watched so many incredible movies. Like you and I, we do this during the last like 10 minutes of that like beautiful orchestration visually and through the sound was the hardest time I've ever had being on camera. Like just because I was like, I'm so in this, I keep forgetting to be on because my brain is like, live in here, and I was like, but make a face that doesn't look like you're scowling.
No, man, you just gotta talk. You just gotta let us in.
You just
on
gotta
what
talk
you're
all the time.
You gotta let us in on what you're thinking.
But then the
and
comments
feeling.
are like, Coy's always talking. I'm like, we're
Just
doing
don't
reaction
talk
channel.
over when there's dialogue.
I had to predict the future. I haven't seen it. Just
Chinos.
chomp into the microphone.
Hey.
Hey.
What's
what's up, Doc?
It's a funny hat. It's a funny hat.
Wile E. Coyote got canceled. That sucks.
I've been following you
Fucking
guys
Zaslav.
since the Daredevil trailer reaction back at 2015, I believe. Wow, man. I still remember that show. It's a great trailer. I just wanted to say you guys fuck and rock. Your guys' takes are very intriguing.
We're spot for a pause.
By the way, Coy, congrats on the God Miller
God Miller.
Oh my God.
Guys, 3 hours.
Godzilla -1 premiere.
Thank you.
Yeah, oh dude, totally. Congratulations to Coy. Thank you for being here for so long. And yeah, I mean, our takes are just kind of trying to follow. Hey, Christian Harloff. Hey, Christian Harloff.
We were just talking about his nuts.
Are you trying to get a reply from me in text? Did I miss the text message? I'm
Probably.
sorry.
Yeah.
You guys' takes are very. Harloff has been great, by the way. Congrats on 100K
Dude,
subscribers.
100K. I was very proud to be part of that.
Our takes are very intriguing. I just try to copy what Christian Harloff says, and I go, are people responding well to it? All right, just replicate that.
He just watched the Marvels review.
And I was like, oh, shit. Okay, that's what I got to say.
That's what the people are saying.
People seem to be responding
It's about the people.
positively.
Yeah.
Help them hit 100K. So I was
boom.
like, okay, let me just say what Harloff is saying.
Still a shill, according to some, but he also hates everyone's opinion, according to others, like us.
I mean,
That's
dude,
how the internet goes.
one day I'm going to figure out how to make everyone happy.
Yeah.
AGN King, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the kind things you're saying right now. Jen Fripps, hi, y'all. Hi, Coy. My husband was the one who tweeted you the other day. Fuck the haters.
Yeah.
I thought it was pointing up.
Just
The haters.
haters.
Does this mean
That's
that
where they are.
Phase 4-5 starts after Loki Season 2? I love you guys. Or has Phase 1 started after Loki Season 2?
Another reason, and people have been saying that the Kang thing can't be Loki being the beginning. Remember the opening credits of Loki Season 2, Episode 6? It's the Marvel in reverse and going back to the very beginning, back to the comics, back to the origin. I think it's him at the beginning of time. I know people disagree, but I think it's before Phase 1, personally. And also, thank your husband for me. That was very kind. Anyone coming to my
Got
defense,
a
I
hot
appreciate.
husband, Jen.
Yeah.
Look at him in that thumb.
Good for you.
Damn.
Good
looking
work.
Fine.
Cool last name, too.
Fripps.
Fripps.
Kenneth Valenta. Well, Kenneth, I can answer this question for you. Thank you for the super chat. Thoughts on hope for the new Avatar The Last Airbender teaser from Netflix? What I hope. Have you seen Avatar The Last Airbender?
Nope. That's why I'm like,
Oh, my God, dude. Dude, great show. Fantastic.
Canceled
show.
my Netflix.
Why?
Because they were the reason the strike went like an
Well,
extra
the
4 months.
strike is done.
And
Get
I'll
it
come back
back
when Stranger Things is back. It's the
All
only
right.
thing worth watching.
Avatar: The Last Airbender, fantastic show. I think my faith in it is. Sorry, I was just reading that, Christian. Okay, my faith in it is mainly because of what One Piece did. Granted, I haven't seen the One Piece anime, but by all accounts, I really love the One Piece show, and I've heard everyone who's like familiar with One Piece really love the adaptation and the live action. So I'm like, all right, good, awesome, good to hear that like both camps can be satisfied. I'm hoping Avatar: The Last Airbender can do the same thing. I mean, I think one benchmark it's got to clear that'll just make anyone happy is bam, just be better than that M. Night Shyamalan movie. You got one main bench cleared, perfect, boom. Bar set extremely low, but as long as you get a better live action than that, awesome. I'm hoping that doesn't just do a direct one-to-one adaptation and does take some chances to do some of its own things while also not completely obliterating the brilliant source material. But overall, from the first look, I thought it was a pretty good look, and I mean, everything looks very apta, I'll say. You don't get it, but there's a character called Appa. He's a bison.
Oh.
He's there on the
Does
floor.
he like talk?
No, he doesn't.
No, he's cute.
No, that's M. Bison who talks.
Oh, okay, got it. 6 legs.
So yeah, Carl Maxey. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's good. Live action Legend of Korra, I would really hope for that. The world of like embodying like kind of that 1930s, 20s period would be awesome to see. Carl Maxey. I had fun with the Marvels. The actress's relationship is fun and charming, and I love Kamala being the fury of the MCU. Where's Isaiah Bradley's kid? They should have just shut up with all the kids.
They're just hanging out in that one room.
Randomly hanging. All the kids were there. Miss
Waiting
Marvel
for Kate
was
Bishop to come in.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, we used your bathroom. Sorry, we clogged
yeah,
it.
Wicked and Speed show up. Oh man, that would be fun. But yeah, no, I think that was a really fun end credit scene, and I'm glad you had fun, Karl Marx. That sounds like a great time. Karl Marx. Karl Marx. Sorry.
Greg is a Marxist. Confirmed.
Is that happening?
Marxist.
Do people ever actually reach your name as Karl Marx? Oh, Jesus.
Oh, amazing.
Vagabond of Light, thank you so much. Love you guys. Was introduced to Coy from NR. Oh, that's great to hear. And Greg from Heavy Spoilers. What?
Yeah.
Someone actually came up there. I'm glad to have more and more nerdy exposure. Really enjoy your guys' takes. Oh, Vagabond of Light. That is so kind of you to say. Well, hopefully one day New Rockstars is shut down and Heavy Spoilers is shut down, and then
we're the
we
only
buy
ones.
the company.
We have the monopoly. We are running it. We are
Can
buying
you
it.
imagine
We're
that
consuming
shit?
it like Disney's eating Hulu. It's ours. Yeah, the reject
It was
Rockstars.
planned the whole time.
The new real spoilers.
But seriously, thank you. It's always awesome to see if when we're discovered from another channel.
Yeah,
I feel
there's
like
a lot.
And I feel like it doesn't happen enough. And then when it happens and you're brought over and you fall ashore, that's really kind of you. Thank you.
And we lost at least 4 followers today.
Oh my God, probably
so this
more.
one
Honestly,
helps.
I don't want to look at the analytics
we definitely
on
went some
this one.
madness.
Are you
Yeah, no,
crazy?
it's gonna be a lot of downvotes.
Coy started off his live stream, but fuck you.
I wanted them to know.
No, yeah, okay. Now, I'll ask Fossey, thank you so much. Would you consider Loki being Nexus being now?
Yeah, absolutely. Or something above that. I consider him almost like a celestial. I think he's an abstraction. I think he's an entity of story itself. So beyond Nexus being.
Oh my God, Coy, you're going to watch something amazing. We're going to get this done on time.
Oh my God.
Watch this. No, we can. We
Okay.
can. I feel it. I feel it.
Sorry, live chat. We'll get to you more, but I gotta.
All right. Shy, Luna Midnight. I didn't skip one, right? No. Okay. Do you think New Avengers team will have the following? Captain America, Kate Bishop, He Shang, she. What?
Captain Bishop, he?
Thor, Captain Marvel, Kamala's Miss Marvels, the Eternals, and Deadpool. Wow.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of the Eternals themselves. Bless you. May the Lord Jesus Christ bless you.
Salvation.
Coy, who do you think the New Avengers teams are going to be?
I think it's going to be Captain America, Doctor Strange, Shang-Chi, Captain Marvel, and a member of the Eternals, maybe, but it didn't do as well as I wanted it to. And I think Young Avengers will have Kamala. I don't think Deadpool will stay with a team. I think he'll bounce around. I think he'll pop up in X-Men and Avengers. Uncanny Avengers has Deadpool, and it's a blast, but I think he'll be a wild cannon.
Well, I
But
think they're going to really separate Young Avengers and Avengers.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't think Kamala would be
Yeah.
on Avengers. But I think we're going to get like that kind of setup. And I think She-Hulk is going to land there.
They're really pushing, what's Camille Najani's character name again?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, Kingo.
Thank you. It's 3 hours. Yes.
Is it Kingo?
I
Yeah.
think it's Kingo.
I feel like he'll stick around, yeah.
Mhm.
They need a comedic relief because Marvel's not funny enough.
No.
Alvin
More jokes.
Everett. I was so happy when they used Kamala's imagination to the paper drawings like they did in the show again. That was a nice introduction. I thought it was a brilliant introduction.
I think it actually got us to like 5 more minutes of goodwill.
That was good. That was really great. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree, man. Good. Something I did not point out. I was too vexed by some other things, and it clouded some of the positives in my non-spoiler, and I feel bad about that. I do. Struggle Skywalker. Do you think Loki will be usurped of his position in Avengers 5 by the Council of Kangs and travel the multiverse to assemble the multiverse Avengers?
That is a way they could bring him back, but I don't think Loki's coming back. I think that is a fun little story.
You think this, huh?
I think it. I think that's a great story, and it's fun in the comics. But I don't think Loki. And that is a way to have Greg's idea of like first villain, gather Avengers, that Ouroboros. But
I just want to say Ouroboros.
It's fun to say, but I don't think that's the move.
Okay. I got this. I appreciate all these super chats. We're gonna honor all of them.
Yeah.
Nick No Light. Didn't think we'd get an X-Men tie-in, but if I had to guess, I would have thought it would have been Rogue, given her history with Captain Marvel in the comics. Glad Carol still has her powers, though. Well, they had to have some scientific mumbo-jumbo jargon.
What he said.
In order to justify it. I actually think Hank McCoy is a great pick because it's noticeably a mutant and it's an instantaneous register of the Fox mute, so that way you right away know, no questions asked.
He's an iconic mutant.
And you could do the math on last time you saw him was Days of Future Past, so you can kind of put together some potential timeline.
I think narratively, the Captain Marvel, the Rogue thing is great, but I think in a movie narrative, the Beast thing is great. And I also think that he has spent time in space. He was dating Polaris for a while. He is a space mutant, so I think it works.
Yeah, no, I actually think that choice was a really smart one on the MCU.
But I would have loved to see eventually Rogue and Captain Marvel.
Yeah, but you can't have any nuanced opinions here. I hate it entirely.
Just that.
Steven Thunder 90 just got here. So did Loki confirm the MCU is 616? Didn't they say
they've said it before?
But I thought they said 616
adjacent, which is the quantum realm.
Yeah, okay.
The quantum realm in the 616 would be that adjacent.
That's kind of crazy.
But the 616 is it's the comics. I think, you know what? Iman Vellani is right. I'm sorry, Kevin Feige. It's Earth 19999. Yeah. 616 is the comics. And, yeah, they doubled down on it, but I still think it's wrong.
You're being racist, Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Gabby P. Hey, Gabby. Good to see you. It was great enjoying Loki Season 2 with you guys. Thanks, Coy, Greg, and John. Love you. Oh, man, it's just nice to get some love like that. Thank you, Gabby. It's, when you put out these videos, sometimes you
just
forget.
Rage.
Sometimes you just forget about, that there's some people who might actually like you, and it's really easy to forget that sometimes you get 1 million subscribers and
only 500,000 hate.
Only 500,000 hate. The Trib one release a DaCosta cut. I don't think she edited it. I feel like
yeah, I don't know if there is a cut for her to have enough control to describe what we want.
Yeah, but I would be curious. I mean, even she said it herself. At the end of the day, it was making a Kevin Feige movie.
Yeah.
Whereas James Gunn's conversation around it, it's I still made a James Gunn movie.
Sure.
Within the Marvel universe, she was making a Marvel movie,
and that's why Guardians 3 feels unique, but still part of the MCU.
Yeah. Shay, I enjoyed the Marvels, but I think more so because I desensitized myself before going in, except that it won't be top tier. Liquor helped too. Oh my God, that would be so fun. That's why they got everyone drunk at our screening.
They did that.
Oh my God, at our screen. I've never been to a screening like that where people are drinking beforehand and everyone's like rowdy and so social and they're all running around. I was like, man, people are so energetic before the screen, and I didn't drink.
You're wait a second.
I didn't drink any alcohol, so I was just in my seat being when's this fucking thing gonna start?
Yep.
Because I gotta shoot a video.
And that's why Greg hates cinema.
And that's why I hate cinema, because I didn't get drunk before watching the Marvels
lesson learned.
Everyone else at the press screening. Some people really love perks at these things, and I'm always I just want to do the thing.
Yeah, that's true. I can vouch for that.
I go to premieres, and I'm like, yeah.
I like premieres because people are happy.
When's the movie going to start?
I like the joy.
Shay Luna Midnight. Thank us so much. I just don't want it to have anything interfere with having an honest take on something.
But the press screenings are so stuffy that interferes the other way.
I feel like premieres are even more we fucking love anything that's happening right now. That sometimes they can really cloud an honest opinion, but more on that later. McNolite, the introduction as Rogue in Captain Marvel final film will be a great chapter ending, would deal with temporary loss and change and to live.
That would be fun if they wanted to let Brie retire. I do think, with her experience in the first film and now this one, I could see her wanting to go, and it'd be interesting to have maybe not a third film, but maybe an X-Men. She cameos. That's how Rogue gets her powers. We let Brie, live a normal civilian life. I think that'd be a good way to retire the character if she wants to go. I hope she does it because I really liked her in this one.
Yeah, I totally agree, man.
Yeah, these are all things, all true things. I'm going to read the live chat. Where's the live chat?
No, Coy, don't worry. I'm just going
to
I'm making a message to ask to push something. Jamie Rodriguez, should Young Avengers be a D+ show or a movie? Well, considering a lot of them were introduced from the Disney+, I feel like I personally would prefer. Oh my God, I really don't know because I feel like it'd be so great for them to get
They all need time. I think Disney+. I think you need episodes.
I think
it would be 2 hours. It'd be.
I think it's not to say it's less than. I just think you would flesh it out better, and it would be a cool thing to see a big team up like that.
We needed Cap, Iron Man, and Thor movies first, and we're not going to get a.
True.
So I think a show.
I think a show too. I think that's a fair assessment. I think it's a good, efficient, quality answer. I appreciate the super chat. Adrian Gonzalez. A lot of people are toxic there. Thank you for the very generous one. And hate their life, so they project it onto others. Just know a lot of people love you guys, me being one of them. Well, I hope you love me as a human being and not for a content creator. Because one is good and the other is bad. And just keep being yourself and the real people will see that. No.
That's not true.
No
they
one
don't
can ever see the real me.
Thank you, Adrian.
Internally, I am a rotting pumpkin. But I appreciate it so much. And yeah, I know there's a lot of
November.
Toxic and hot. I hate
hot November pumpkins.
I know there can be a lot of talk, but it's nice to have people like you in our core, Adrian. It really means a lot.
I was very angry at the beginning of this chat, and now I'm not, so thank you.
Oh, yeah, no, it's because we have become numb.
We are mad with
Christian Unpronounceable, thank you, who's been here since the beginning of the stream. I love how Loki struggled to gain knowledge to be able to control his time slipping, reminding me of the 12th Doctor. That is what I was talking about during when I kept saying it reminds me of Doctor Who, is that specific episode of Capaldi. There's this crazy there's a whole episode what she just said. Yeah, like, and then I was like, oh, it's a lot like the Capaldi episode. But in that one, he kept dying.
Oh.
Yeah, which is kind of like what's happening. It was a combination of them both.
Yeah.
Because it's more like a convoluted science where he was more like, I have to become like a badass warrior.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, that's exactly the exact thing I was thinking of when I kept saying it during the reaction. Mr. Locke, thank you so much. And someone was explaining how Loki began time slipping to begin with, other than He Who Remains paved the road to it. He just starts doing it for no reason. Coy, take it away. Be insightful.
I thought it was the end of the first season where when you killed He Who Remains, it caused like time distortion because he was at the end of time. That's how he got back. And when he got back, he was between times, is how I interpreted it. And
between two ferns.
Does that seem accurate? Was there an explanation I missed? Because that's honestly what I thought, and I didn't think to think back on it. I just thought, okay, season 2, the end of season 1 was He Who Remains getting stabbed, thus it must be...
True.
Right?
Yeah, no, I'm keeping up with everything you're saying.
I totally said a thing.
I'm just making sure
that's what I said.
I got the 3:30 and I had to like ask some favors to push it.
Move things around.
You know how it goes.
I know how it goes. Here we go. We said we are going to stop at 3, and here we are.
I don't have a good trajectory of the time the way how He Who Remains does.
He does.
That's
He's
what
a
I love
conqueror
most about it. Hope he's innocent because he's a good actor. And I'm just going to ignore everything else. You know?
Yeah.
It's the way mindset should work.
Totally.
And everything.
Fiction and nonfiction, blend them.
Yeah. Not even going to say I was joking.
We're lost.
I'm going to say I'm serious. Alvin Everett. The Statue of Liberty is bronze and still has Captain America's shield. This takes place before No Way Home.
I think it's a different multiverse. I think different timelines. I think it's
what?
In the Loki. The Statue of Liberty.
What Statue of Liberty?
In the Marvels, the Statue of Liberty is.
Oh yes, okay.
So I think she's in a different timeline. I honestly think we have different timelines happening simultaneously, and you're going to find that out in Kang Dynasty or Deadpool. Nobody believes me.
I don't understand how the multiverse saga would do. Why don't they say that though? Why try to make it?
Because I think they wanted it to be a reveal.
Why try to make some badass twist? I feel like it just makes it confusing.
Because I think they wanted an Avengers moment.
I think that's really annoying, and I think
that's what they want.
I think they should cut the shit.
Cut the shit.
I think they should cut the shit.
Well,
guys.
I'm sorry.
What do you think? Do you think it's annoying, guys? Put it in the chat if you think it's annoying.
Can't see the chat.
When you think there's, when you can't. Oh my god. Do you think it's annoying? Oh my god, we're doing this.
Oh man,
guys, Ray with an E.
Yep.
If Kane killed Cassie in that prison scene with Scott, used time to bring her back only to repeat her death over and over again for her father, maybe that would have made him more intimidating. Yeah, there's ways you could have made him more intimidating.
Wait, are you implying that Kang the Time Conqueror should have had some sort of time powers in Ant-Man? That's a crazy concept. It's almost like that would have been the character they should have used instead of whatever they did. Jonathan Majors played Kang, but man, the writer and director didn't. I like Peyton Reed a lot, and I'm sure the writers have done other things, but that was not.
Crazy twist, man.
Well, I mean, like, you literally had him manipulating people with everything but time. And I go, he's in the quantum realm, which is the way they, like, wrote to neuter him. But it just, that would have been great. And it makes me, I would have just aged her. Imagine Scott, who's already lost time with his daughter, watching his daughter age before his eyes, and literally feeling that time lost already going further. It's a metaphor for time. It's a metaphor for, like, prison being trapped. It's a metaphor for the blip. It ties everything together, and it ties to the villain. Instead, don't use it.
Good call, Jen. I really appreciate that. That is true.
Marvel, you got my number. I'll help you write.
You know what? I really liked that moment when He Who Remains made fun of Victor Timely.
Yeah, that was funny. Because the pauses, it also shows a time thing, which is funny.
Alvin Everett. Thank you, Alvin. Potential Young Avengers. Here we go. Vision, Miss Marvel, Kate Bishop, Cassie, Scar. Yeah, Scar. It's funny, Scar.
Best haircut ever.
Speed, Wiccan, America Chavez, Kid Loki, Harley Keener, Ironheart, Son, Petra, Love, Astrid, Heimdallson, and Philavel.
I mean, we do have hella characters, so they could do this. I think that's a bit much. But
Karomi.
yeah, I don't know if we'll have that many in the team, but a lot of these I do think we'll see. I don't think we'll see a Kid Vision. I think White Vision is the only place we'll take Vision next, if that show still happens.
White Vision. Connor Burrows. Is Loki now the one above all, Coy?
Oh, sorry. Steven said I meant that it couldn't have been before No Way Home. I still think timeline thing. Loki is. I don't think he's the one above all, but I do love that concept. To me, Stan Lee, because of all of his cameos, is always and forever the one above all. He's the creator.
Let's run this 3.5 hour runtime. 10,900. Thank you so much for all of us. That this one's more exhausting than last week because of the emotion.
I'm so tired from the first hour.
Yeah, the last one I was like, this is fun, but man, that was
This has been
woo boy.
Last live stream.
This is one for the books. I love this one. This is a journey. This is a journey for you, for all of us. That parallel with Thor 1. Such bitches. We're just complaining about the support that they're giving us.
I know. Who do we think we are?
Pretty much going to takes care of all your time here.
Yeah. No, thank you guys.
That parallel with Thor 1 where Loki said it, but did it for himself, and Loki truly meant it in the finale was amazing symmetry. Good word.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I really like that they've used so much symmetry between Mobius and Loki, between Thor and Loki. They set up all those things for like long-running writing, and then
this guy.
I'm just saying they did a really good job.
Sharp, man.
They did a really good job establishing.
So sharp.
They did a really good job establishing narrative parallels to things that were never intended to go further. They did a really good job using seeds that weren't planted and making them like flowers, which I think is the beauty of the multiverse and the beauty of an ongoing universe like this. Loki is exactly what Marvel needs.
Look, they're giving us an option to just insert ads. I was just fine.
We're that long.
It would just be so fun. I'm just like, I'm just going to play an ad while we're reading donations that people gave us.
More money. Capitalism.
More money.
Capitalism.
You mean I could play ads?
Narrative.
YouTube's literally suggesting insert an ad right now.
That's so funny. Focus on your live stream and let YouTube insert ads for you.
I'll insert ads after the stream is done. I'm not going to do it while we're live.
So funny. You wait. Unskippable.
Melvin Venegas joining late. So I don't know if thank you for the super chat, buddy. I don't know if y'all talked about it, but Tom Hiddleston said on Found that Loki season 2 is the conclusion of 14 years of his life. Thoughts? I mean, he's not wrong. It is the conclusion of 14 years of his life. 2 different versions of Loki. I think there's ways you can just take. It's not the end though. It's not finite. You know, people always say conclusion on things, but it is the conclusion of this. But I don't think it's the end.
I think it is.
It's not the end. No, man. He's still young, and until he gets another role that really financially takes care of him, no.
Oh, he is set.
For what? Just the Marvel money?
No, you're right.
He doesn't have Downey money.
Touche.
He doesn't get Downey money. He's got Disney Plus money.
He wants. I mean, no, you're right. I wouldn't. Yeah.
No, man.
But I don't see him coming back. I think he wants to do like stage. I think he wants to go like, and he's also a dad now.
An actor from theater wanting to do stage. Fuck that. It's all about
he's a dad.
money.
I think he wants to be a
it's
dad.
It's about money.
Yeah.
Capitalism. About to insert an ad.
Put some ads in
right now.
Put some ads in for Loki. Do it for Tom.
Mustafa Job. This is the first movie I think I disagree with you in terms of overall quality. I enjoyed it a lot. Bottom line, this confirms you are sexist. Appreciate the super chat.
Mustafa understands. Confirms.
Appreciate it. Didn't I just hide him as... Did I just block him?
I thought he was joking.
Oh, was he?
I hope so, because that seems like a joke.
I'm glad you enjoyed it a lot. And yes, sexism confirmed.
Yeah, it's us.
1,000%. And don't forget racist. Christian and also cadist.
Oh, very much so.
Christian unpronounceable. Infinity Watch with all the beings who are avatars of the stones. What becomes of the Watcher? What's the Watcher doing?
He's exclusive to the What If until they announce their different timelines. Infinity Watch could work. I know that's the storyline where each of the stones has a human element, and they did that like 3 years ago in the comics. I think the closest we'll get to that is like kind of the representation of Loki and maybe Scarlet Witch, but I don't know if they'll fully embody that. Maybe for Kang Dynasty, but I doubt they'll go that way. But they could.
Oh, and I could have just said it now that you're done talking.
Oh, well, there you go.
All right. Yara. Just wanted to say love you guys. We love you too. We love you too, my God. Hey, Lorenzo Baxter, good to see you again. It's been rough lately, and your streams brighten my afternoon. Even this one?
Wow.
Coy, any recommendations for a Marvel girl who knows nothing about comics? Where to start? Thank you.
There's a really good run of Captain Marvel if you like the character of Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers. That is her origin story that I just made a video about, like what to read for Miss Marvel, for Captain Marvel. Check my TikTok.
It
they
says
have
from
like,
a male perspective.
Yeah. As a man, these are women's opinions, is the book title. But no, check out my TikTok. I do like lots of recommendations for individual characters. But I really a slept-on character that I think more people should read is the Gwenpool character, who is fourth wall breaking in a really unique way, in that she is actually aware of the Marvel Comics universe, so she knows everyone's secret identity. So she's really powerful because she like just reads comics, and I think that's a really fun first comic for a new comic reader. So check out Gwenpool.
Yeah, dude, Coy did look fresh in that reaction. Dude was coming from a fucking charity.
Yeah, this guy wanted to help
woke.
feed people.
Doesn't get more woke than that.
Oh man, the worst. I want to help others. So awake.
It's okay, Chelsea. Appreciate you being here right now. Rick Alt, hey. Which specific heroes do you guys want a new Avengers team for Secret Wars? Also, I'm curious, who would you say is the best actor in the MCU in your opinion? I love you guys. Have a good day. All right. Okay. Honest answers right now. New Avengers team Secret Wars. Dude, fuck it. I want all the new people who have not had a chance to cross over yet.
Shang-Chi.
I mean, everyone is like, just do what the fucking Avengers does. Do everything like. Just get all the characters together. Yeah. Like, it's not really a selective process. Just get everyone together here.
Yeah, I think they're going to throw a lot at the wall.
Dude, fucking Shang-Chi, even She-Hulk, they're in there. And everyone's got the Disney Plus shows. Echo, Daredevil, do it all. I think that's why it's been so long since we got an Avengers movie, because they're building up for just a massive, massive event.
I think people expect that or nothing. Like, it has to be.
They've kind of programmed us for, like, few movies, Avengers. Few movies, Avengers. And now it's been so long since we had a crossover, but I think they're building up this thing because of the cataclysmic kind of event we have. In terms of best actor in the MCU, oh my God, it's kind of hard to narrow it down to one.
Right now, Tom Hiddleston.
Right now, I just want to celebrate Tom Hiddleston and Iman Vellani as two powerhouses. Like, watching the evolution of Tom Hiddleston has been phenomenal, and watching newcomer Iman Vellani, who just comes onto the scene, just kills it. Fucking amazing, man.
Yeah.
I just really want to celebrate them right now.
And Shang-Chi, Simu has to recover from his surgery. I saw him at that charity event that I was dressed so sprucey at on crutches.
Yeah, you know,
he
rich people, yeah.
I'm saying he's up and mobile and doing better. He was worried about... That's true.
Coy's not racist.
It's about me knowing people. That's what it's about.
Sean Payton. Thank you, Sean. Hey, Greg and Coy. I watched the Marvels last night, and it's a 3-star film. I know I might be on an island liking it. Believe me, you're not. But in my honest opinion, but the lack of clear story was something bringing it down. I mean, I only said 1 or 2. Really love the character of Captain Marvel more now. Yeah, no, I think it elevated her for me too. I've seen some people who really don't like her still, but I liked her in this movie quite a bit. I feel like it really captured more of her personality. Coy, can you give 2 Young Avengers comic recommendations?
Check out Young Avengers Volume 1 by Chung. The artist, Cheung, is really good. It has Iron Lad stuff. It deals with a lot of those team dynamics. But then I'd also check out Mark Waid's Champions. I know it's not a Young Avengers title, but I think they're going to draw the Young Avengers from both of them. So check out Volume 1 of each and see which one you like more, and then keep reading.
Maybe. I say read the first issue of Young Avengers, so that way you start just from the very beginning
and
get
only
proper
read that one.
Original context.
Yeah. Go back to Avengers
That's
1.
That's how I always answer every one of my questions.
1960s.
That way it sounds like I know what I'm talking about.
Let me just have a foundation.
Like, which Blade comic should I read? I think you should start with the first one so you understand it from the beginning.
Tomb of Dracula. Go back to Tomb of Dracula where Blade was introduced. It won't not make sense.
Richie Brad. I do stand up, but I suck at it. Just like everyone seems to think you guys suck at having opinions. Wow. Was that part of your stand-up jokes? That really hurt. What a way
Richie.
to end the stream.
Ouch.
Jeez, I'd be the guy in the crowd being like, screw you, man. Also, like you said, Coy is a little puppy.
Yeah.
All love. Oh, my God. You know what I found myself looking at? Of course, we're going to do echo reactions. Who's the guy who got canceled from Seinfeld?
Kramer guy?
Yeah.
Richards?
Yeah, I was like watching stuff with him.
Is he funny?
No, not. I mean, kind of. It's just funny how like Jerry Seinfeld immediately came to his defense.
Did he?
Yeah.
I missed that whole saga.
Jerry Seinfeld? When he did the stand-up, and then Jerry Seinfeld immediately was like, "You're going on David Letterman, and you're going to apologize." And
Didn't seem to work. I don't know what he's doing.
I mean, no, it's ruined his career forever. It was a terrible thing. Then I saw the video again.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, that really is a bad day.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, my God. Do you know what he did?
No.
Of why he was canceled?
I just know he got canceled.
Oh, my God. That is one of the most horrendous things I've ever seen at a stand-up. I was like, this is really awful.
Oof.
Anyway, look, change the subject.
Oh, Bullet Station's back.
Mobius for me is more as hotter Anakin. Sean Payton. Damn, that's a racist 17-year-old.
It is.
Sean
also,
Payton.
I make more money on TikTok than you probably make in a year.
Sean Payton. Damn, Coy, there's no need to say that.
I like punching down a 17-year-old. We've been over this.
Wait till he's your age.
He can almost vote. He's never going to be my age unless I die. Well, no, then I'm dead.
Greg, how was the Eras horror movie? My girlfriend and I are going to see it for her birthday tomorrow. Well, it might not be as exciting. Lillian, that's true. I don't think he deserves to be further dragged down. I mean, I feel like he's really done his best to make amends. That would seem like aggressively racist when you watch it. And I'm like, hopefully he has really learned, Hopefully he's really learned. I just think it was kind of crazy to watch this random shit last night or 2 nights ago. I don't want to regurgitate hate towards him. He really does seem super depressed these days. It's been situation. Now I feel like really bad. I feel bad.
Damn it, Greg! You brought up ancient history.
I feel bad now.
Eras tour.
So anyway, Sean Payton, Greg. Yeah, I love the Eras tour. I thought it was a beautiful experience. I've been listening to Taylor Swift like every single day ever since. I even watched the Taylor Swift documentary on Netflix. Miss Americana. My God, what a telling documentary! I think it brought me to tears on some parts. So yeah, I mean it's more exciting the Eras tour when you got like a crowd who's really into it. I don't know how big it'll be now, but hey, man, I mean I just hope you have a fun time with your girlfriend and hopefully you guys do some fun stuff afterwards. You know what I mean? Sexual things. Trey Porter, what are your top
Taylor's
5
version.
suits from the
That should be a position.
MCU and the DCU? Oh my God, my top 5 suits from the MCU. Well, I will say I love Loki's new suit. Oh my God, recency bias, that's for sure. Love Loki's new suit. I actually really like Iron Man's suit in Infinity War a lot. Captain America and Winter Soldier, looking fine, super fine. I like Wanda's look in Multiverse of Madness quite a bit. Actually, Doctor Strange is pretty accurate. A lot of the suits look fucking great to me. God damn. Chadwick and the Black Panther one.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of, let's see. I like Scarlet Witch's final suit. I really think that's one of the things I like about Multiverse of Madness. I dig Spider-Man's final suit. I like where things are about to go. I really like Iron Man's in 2, which is one of the things I like about that movie. What else? I like most of them. I'm trying to think of the more obscure ones.
In DCU, I really...
He can almost vote!
I love Wonder Woman.
Dude, I hope he's getting paid to be here like we are. Because that is a long time.
We're not getting paid to be.
Well, we're getting...
I did this for a year and a half without earning $1.
Well, I know, but now
and
this is the
think,
job.
Like, people pay you. It's not really a job. It's kind of... People don't understand. All right, go.
Do we not eat?
It's a different conversation.
Okay.
The DCU...
He's not getting paid for sure, though. He needs a job.
What's the thing? This is the thing in the DCU.
Oh, 5 suits? I really like...
Wonder Woman, Man of Steel, Batman,
yeah, I'm like,
and
what, the
Harley
5?
Quinn. And
I don't know. I didn't love Superman's. I think...
Really? I loved it.
Oh, wait, Ben Affleck's Batman suit.
Yeah,
I really dig. I dig Harley Quinn's suit in Birds of Prey. I like...
We also say positive things is really
Shazam
I hate
suit.
you.
And then the ones you said.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Sorry, I'm brain dead. I can't even think of suits.
Dude. Rick Alt. Thanks, Rick. Also, for Beyond the Spider-Verse, do you think we'll see the original 616 Peter Parker from the comics? If so, who do you think should play him, or should he speak through speech bubbles?
I've been thinking of that. I'm wondering if comics themselves will be the next thing that blends into the universe, and I think that'd be really special, especially if they had comics coming out simultaneously. I don't think there should be a voice. I think it should be speech bubbles because you can't hear when you're reading comics, and if there's speech, then it's just another voiced character, so it'd be unique if you had speech bubbles. I'd love that.
That's very true. That's very true.
It'd be so dope to just see.
Doe Wise, thanks for the sticker. Will you do Percy Jackson reactions? I'm planning on reacting to the movies with Tara. I don't know about the show.
Ooh, Dr. Fate suit, top 5 for sure.
And then we got a sticker here. Oh my God, are we ending like at 3:30?
I think so.
Joel O'Connell with a sticker, as in I'll be back. And then the last thing here is this Streamlabs, this one Streamlab we must honor. Just one, yes, okay, all right. Hold on a second, the last one of the day.
Eon, yeah, but you hear different voices depending on who you are, so it wouldn't be one voice.
Seth Arp, we're going to spend 30 minutes on this.
Yep.
Hey, guys, I told this Coy on Twitter, but Craig, I appreciate your reviews because they're actually insightful. I will say my talking on the Marvels was immediately not, but I feel like most of the time I do I give an effort. Even if I disagree with you, it makes me see things from a different perspective. I feel like I've become a better movie TV watcher because of your reviews. Well, that's true. I mean, like most of our reviews are done via like the spoiler talks with the reactions and stuff, where we kind of talk for a long time. So I really appreciate that, Seth.
That's very kind.
And it's very kind of you. And like most people, a lot of people listen to Cosmonaut Variety Hour or High Top. And, you know, even like Double Toasted, and Jeremy Johns. I listen to all these people, you know, Dan Merle, Harloff. I disagree with them so much of the time initially, but I always love hearing other people. Red Letter Media, I always love hearing other people's perspectives. If it doesn't just seem like they're doing something to placate to their audience and they expect, like, you know, there are certain channels where it's like, you know what they're going to say because you just know what they tend to. But there's other channels where, like the guys that just listen to you, that I'm always curious, even if I'm going to disagree. I love to hear it out, and I never fume, no matter how much in disagreement I am. Sometimes they'll be really funny to me, even if I disagree. I'll still find them like hilarious.
Yeah,
you know. So yeah, man, I really appreciate it very much.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that.
Thank you guys so much for being here. Do got to end this stream. Oh my God, that's not too bad.
3:30.
Thank you guys so much. Really loved being here. This was a really fun time. Yeah, they're gonna film it later on today for Madagascar 2. For everyone who's been here since the beginning,
incredible.
Thank you, Coy. Obligatory flex time. Obligatory flex. We flex at end of
This is just
stream.
crazy. You're getting striations between your elbow. Like this little area is so hard to get that cut. Dude.
I don't know. I mean, it's
Look
the
at that,
punches, man. I've been
It's
fucking
working.
doing a lot of forearm shit, man.
It's great. I'm
a lot of forearm
impressed.
shit. Once I realized my forearms were small.
You were like, no, not in this house.
Yeah, but you got that natural bulk again.
It's not natural.
I mean, you got that bulk. You got the
it's
bulk
the
going.
size.
I look like I'm skinny until I fucking flex.
True.
Yeah,
And you're like, what up? Deal with it.
Yeah, man.
It's not just bones.
But thank you guys again. Seriously, and for everyone who's been really kind and been able to have respectful disagreements about things.
Appreciate you.
Really been appreciative. And overall, this is one we are never going to forget.
That's for sure.
Thank you very much.
Bye,
Much
guys.
love to everyone.